on his weapon and asked each of us, or mostly Xander and Blackstar, to basically tell him when it's appropriate for him to wield it or pull it out. Because he doesn't he loses himself when he pulls it out.
I do have to say though, it's a flame tongue, so I'm pretty sure Black Star's going to tell you to use it whenever he wants.
Hey
You don't
man,
know that? You don't know
B2
that?
trusts
You don't know
all
that.
of us. um, a little after that, Garen went to the other magic user, not Blackstar, Xander, and questioned him the same way he questioned Rezzyr, uh, and then showed him the glyph on his hand, gave him a bit of information about where he's from and how he got the glyph and his curiosity behind it, and then got answers about it's somewhere in my notes about where what the glyph might be connected to, what it's tied to, and the fact that it can open something. And if unless I'm forgetting anything after what I'm about to say, Xander then had a conversation. He didn't have a. He had a. I feel like he had a conversation with everyone.
Mhm.
But the one I'm specifically remembering, he had a conversation with Rezzyr, kind of beginning the healing process of their relationship by exploiting him for lessons of a language.
Sounds
That was
about right.
good. That was good. Yeah.
Am I forgetting anything?
I'll forgive you. Let me learn some swear words in your language.
Pretty much.
Um, Alex, I hope you can stay with us for the duration this evening.
Yeah, I'll probably reposition so I'm not so comfortable in like an hour or so.
Oh well, we can just yell in your ears to wake
That's
you up.
fair.
And just coincidentally yelling in everybody else's ears at the same time.
Details.
So yeah, that was a good recap, and therefore I did not have to recap. And you actually brought out more details than I probably would have. Chris, I'm sorry that it felt like we talked about the long rest thing for 10 minutes. It was like 20 seconds.
He made it
That
a
we-
point
that
to
we-
bring that up. Just like,
He
he's
did.
very upset
He did.
about that.
Obviously, he
conversation.
was not super satisfied with how that ended there. But anyways, so yeah, that is where we pick back up. The last thing that was said by Xander was that he did want to have a conversation with Louise, or it was either Xander or multiple people wanted to talk to Louise, because there's a lot of conversation that was happening about what has occurred and starting to talk about each other's backstory, kind of like a lot of different conversations. I would say go back and watch the VOD, but you guys don't have access to it. Not yet, anyways. So
Someday.
Jay keeps asking for it, and I'm just dragging my feet on that one. But let me pull up the correct. There we go. You all had talked about taking a long rest, but you didn't actually say we're getting down to actually sleep for the night. And while you were having your conversations is when these portals had begun opening up. And throughout the hour or two that it's been, these have continued to pop up throughout the space, mostly just releasing a few fireflies here and there, which are really at this point kind of lighting up the space and have meandered out into the forest around you. And there's still that heavy oppressive heat and humidity, with the occasional sound of woodland or jungle creatures, as well as flying bugs that are around. But there is no campfire. You simply sit in a clearing, having had the various conversations. I'll let you take it from
I
there.
think we ended it with, like, these are the conversations we had. If any of the people that weren't here wanted to do stuff, we'll hold off on saying we go to bed kind of thing.
Yep.
But then it was like, we're basically there, but if somebody wants to have a conversation, we'll do that, and then do the long rest and move on.
Okay.
Yeah,
From
because
what I remember.
Alex, were you? Oh, you were part of the Xander Rezzyr conversation. Were you here still?
I don't think so. That was like right when I left.
Okay.
Yeah, we did that after, I think.
Because I was dying. I'm
Yeah.
dying now.
Goddamn military. Sorry, Tim. I just remembered that you don't like it.
Dude,
Kick
guy
'em.
guy takes a
Kick 'em.
week off. Guy takes a week
Boot 'em.
off. Get him out of here. Get him out of
Claw.
here.
I didn't really get any of that.
He's sitting there confused. They're all babbling on. He's like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, just like what, just over my head. Yep.
Hearing goes in age, so
There you go.
Tim's not that old.
I'm not the oldest one here.
I am.
Yeah. Jay's looking ancient over there. This man needs to rest, Jay.
Get some beauty sleep.
No sleep can bring me beauty.
Because you're already perfect. Is that it?
Yeah. I was like, he's already a
Amazing.
character.
He is already a character. I do.
He's
distinctly-
always in character.
I do remember Jason saying that Xander definitely wanted to talk to Louise about something.
I don't
If
remember
you
about
don't-
what.
Okay.
I thought I intended on writing it down, but I don't remember about what.
Let's see. We talked about the
Um,
portals.
And I have something else that I'm doing really quick, but I'm here. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Garen got everything out that he got the information or answers he wanted, so he's just going to bed at this point.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else.
If there's nothing else to discuss, then we can move on to the long rest. And is anybody taking any watches? I know that Rezzyr, it's a long running thing. That you just
We've
only-
got 2 people now that are just sentry mode.
Yeah, they don't have to sleep.
Okay. So it's just
So,
the two of
at
you
all
for the evening?
times, we have 2 people conscious, no matter what. While one is doing their 4-hour rest and still conscious, the other one's awake. And then with that person, then we just switch. So, like, we've got watches locked down.
Depending on how perceptive you are. Yes.
fair
Oh,
point.
of course. But that's the case with anybody, so, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, so I would like both of you to make a perception check as you take your watch together, and the rest of the party just gets to snooze on.
I do have to say though, for oh god, I forgot the names. For B2, his long rest is 6 hours, not 4.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But is he in
Oh, snap.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's like in the
I
sentry mode,
rolled
I
a-
guess. you could say.
A nat 20 in the dice I have on D&D Beyond, the red dragon came and perched on my dice and then flew away.
Ew.
Nice.
Awesome.
I have mimic dice.
Yeah, so
That being the case, probably would involve Louise then, as one extra watch in the...
well, I
in
mean, yeah, it could
between.
take 2 hours because it's 2 hours can do
Yeah.
a blind activity for a long rest. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
So,
So-
yeah, but I'm still like I can still see and hear as normal.
Yeah. Yeah, as can I. It's just to have
There's
one
like
more
a
person
2
involved.
hours that
Yeah.
no one would be like awake.
Just
Mhm.
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm doing
Yeah.
a perception check as well.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad for me.
That's bad, he says, as he matches what B2 got. The lower roll.
It was below 10, and that's bad.
Okay. I mean, those are all really good rolls, especially the nat 20. At a
Match my passive perception. Beat it by
Yeah.
1. You beat it by 1.
Yeah. For a
because
brief moment, I'm more on it than Louise.
because there aren't any real noises that you're making in the camp. There's no fire that you've produced, so there's no light. It's just this kind of light flickering, almost like small torches all throughout the forest and up into the canopy of these little dots of light. And there continues to be more and more. Now I have to go look and see what the heck it is that you guys are. I don't know if you guys want to play some D&D or if you want to just.
I'm here for D&D.
Alright.
That's
Man, I'm
okay.
only awake for so long.
The night is relatively uneventful. However, around 2 in the morning, as you've been hearing these portals open and close all throughout the night in varying levels of volume. Nariman does come strolling through the camp. The small little tabby cat, kind of with this heat being generated from him, doesn't say anything or really even look at anyone, just strolls on through. Unless you're stopping him, he just continues on to the other side and out of the foliage, doesn't even make eye contact with any of the three of you. Okay. So. Oh. Jason took his headset off. Are you doing something, Jason?
No, my mom was telling me that my brother and friends were picking up the food, so
Okay.
I said,
Cool.
okay.
We level up now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That was
It's after
actually
long rest.
that was left out of the recap, but
Right.
he did play the sound at the end of the session. Which meant that we leveled up.
Xander,
Perfect.
Hold on,
Just
hold on,
ignore it and
before-
move on.
okay.
That's the best thing I can
Xander
do.
loses a level.
We're good.
Xander, make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Tim's my favorite right now. That was such a power move.
All right, have you
Don't
not?
dignify it with a response.
He said, "Whatever, nerds."
I mean, with the amount of times we've made that joke, like, "Oh, we level up," he
A
just
wisdom
tunes
saving
it
throw,
out
right?
now.
A saving throw?
It's
Yeah,
just a regular wisdom saving throw, just like all the other ones you've made. That's fine.
I didn't remember. I'm sorry. 14.
14. It's kind of low. Okay.
Yes.
For you, that's low. The evening comes and goes. You actually took your long rest at approximately 6 p.m., and with 8 hours, that puts it at around 2 in the morning that you wake up. And so it is still pitch black, a little bit of moonlight kind of shining through the canopy in the area that you're in. The portals stopped, I will say, for Rezzyr and B2, stopped kind of popping up probably about 2 or 3 hours ago at this point, and it's
From
just been
midnight-ish.
silence. So you're aroused. You rise in the morning and find yourselves in the same camp that you fell asleep in, ready to take on the day. What would you
That's
like to do?
so
rest.
early. Probably just let the people who are sleeping sleep in and not like wake them up like, hey, the rest is over, get up. Probably just like give it some hours, chill in the little grotto we've made for ourselves, and just wait for a bit of light to come
You
up.
mean after 8 hours, just like immediately you wake up?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, 4
also,
hours
during
for
this
me.
time,
4. It's just like boom.
the long rest, Blackstar would have reattuned to the Mordant Dagger because he forgot his own command word, and he's going to reset his password to the Mordant Dagger.
There's no password recovery option. You could have
No,
you
You're gonna have
lose
to go
access
back
to
in
that
time
email.
again.
He doesn't have access to
Yeah.
the email anymore. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. The sun doesn't begin coming up until around 5 in the morning. So an additional 3 hours, and the little bits of faint colored lights begin to filter through, and you feel that comfortable enough to get up and begin making your way. You still have an additional 2 hours approximately of travel before you arrive at your destination. Any other preparations or conversations that happen in the morning as you're headed off?
I don't remember if I had brought it up at any point, or if Rezzyr had, about what we're willing, like what our goal is here. I think I mentioned it while we were traveling, like why we're coming here, like what we'd be willing to maybe trade or something.
I think when you were leaving Seor, you had talked
Wasn't
to
it
the
about
group.
some gloves or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then we did. Okay.
Yeah, and we're maybe looking to trade the potion of Storm Giant Strength to help.
Possibly as an option. Yeah.
I just realized I know I wasn't here, but we could have given fish to the cat. We have the magic chest.
I don't know anything about that.
Food, and then I'm back permanently.
Okay. I'll believe it when I see it.
I think
Okay.
Garen is just working out in the morning.
Doing some push-ups, finding a nice
On
log
some-
to start
yeah.
bench pressing.
Exactly. Exactly what I had in my head. Yeah.
When Blackstar finishes a tuning, he sees Garen working out. He just plays Eye of the Tiger softly, following him around a little bit.
Nice. Does Garen feel inspired by that music?
Yeah, he's humming or trying his best to hum along.
Awesome. Does Black
You're
Star
doing
have
great,
inspiration?
big guy. I love it. Love the enthusiasm. Eye of the Tiger.
Where
Does Black Star already have
did you-
inspiration?
is that an original song?
Yes. Well, I mean, my mentor taught it to me. He said it's good for like getting people into the spirit for fighting and conquering, and he said it's also very good for montages. So let's just keep it up.
Wait, what's a montage?
Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Well-
and I thought we weren't fighting the witch.
We're not.
Who said we're fighting the witch?
You just said it's a good song for to get people ready to fight.
Yeah, I mean, or for montages.
I'm always ready to fight, so I appreciate the song.
I imagine this is like one of his training sessions that he does leading up to like the final battle of his life, the culmination of all his training. So this is an important step in the montage. Like, I'm here now to document this type of thing and really give him that support he needs. So I'm not going to miss this opportunity.
I agree.
Just
Back off,
remember,
Felix.
Rising up.
Luis.
so just remember, Black Star, don't burn the trees, right?
Eye of the Tiger.
All right, I'll take that as a yes. That's as good as a nice I'm gonna get. I'll just roll with it.
You gather up your things from the camp. You head out in what you assume is the correct direction. I would like whoever is taking the lead to be heading in the right direction to make a survival check, please.
I don't think that would be me.
Oh no.
No, dude.
No way.
Hold on, let me
Please.
open this. So am I gonna use my chronal shift right now?
I mean, I rolled in that one.
Hold, Lou, hold on. You woke up, you flipped in your sleep. North's that way, so take my inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Wait, do I have one? Just look at it. I don't remember where. Oh no, I don't.
did Black Star have inspiration? I asked that like 3 times.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. No, I don't have inspiration.
Okay,
I
you
used
could
it.
take inspiration for your
Hooray.
inspiring Garen.
Hey.
Nice. All right, you feel a lot more comfortable after Rezzyr kind of turns you around, kind of wipe the sleep out of your eyes, and make sure you
Yeah.
don't fall
Like,
over.
I guess maybe the berries aren't sitting well.
Yeah, we might need to
Yeah.
help y'all's diet a bit and get something more
We
than
have
berries
real
get
I mean,
inside
we
you.
have a lot of fiber at the lake.
Yeah, I mean, but it can't be healthy. Like, that's.
We eat
This
so
is
much
bad.
fiber, but I've never seen any of us poop.
I always poop off screen on downtime.
when we do the scene transition, that's when I poop.
Yeah.
Correct.
When the screen fades to black.
Off camera.
They
Yeah.
do it during the loading screens when we enter a
Yeah.
building.
Whenever you can avoid the Constitution save,
Yeah.
that's what it happens.
I was going.
Sorry, Tim.
That's all right. As long as everybody's having fun, that's what we're here to do. I was going to say that everybody woke up this morning with just the taste of good berries in their mouth because it's all you've been eating for all of your lives for at least the last couple weeks.
I mean,
for some of you.
I eat
We
at the
can
tavern.
use the magic chest to get other food if we want to as well.
But you can't say you're not constantly popping berries.
Yeah.
That's funny because Garen was throwing a fit that he could only have berries last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was.
Garen is
Tell him about the
reluctantly
magical chest.
eating them. He does not want to have berries to replace meat.
Louise definitely would have probably given him some meat from the chest or
Yeah.
something, whatever, bacon. Yep.
And I do
Nice.
have to say, it does say in the description, any food produced by the chest is delicious.
Mm.
Ooh, nice.
Well, that's up to the DM. The DM could say it's crap.
If the item
Like,
says
because-
it's good, then it's good.
Because we're close to the witch, it screws with the magical chest, and the food is bad.
Okay,
Maybe.
I need to get some water.
Okay.
All right, so I mean, what are
there
we
is
doing
still
when we
a
get to
use-
this witch?
Well, mainly trying to make sure them gloves don't end up, or them bracers don't end up in the hands they're heading towards right now.
We have the ring, right? That we are supposed to return for.
Yeah, the
Melvin?
floating one.
Yeah, we're doing that on his behalf.
I need to speak to her about
right?
the.
We did take
Yeah, we
that?
took it from him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did.
We
asked.
have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to talk to her about the blacksmith as well. Now that I'm remembering.
Oh, you
Right.
talking about the what was that hair covered individual?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
his close friend.
yeah, she seems nice enough, and I don't want to keep like burning her excess hair away. So-
I do have to ask that we know why the guy at the tavern was cursed. Do we know why she was?
No, she didn't say. That's why I need to speak to
What?
the.
Was it a curse or just kind
Yeah,
of
she
what
said it was the
is?
sea hag.
Oh,
The witch,
well,
which
then-
we're close by. Witch, not hag.
Yeah, the witch. The sea sorceress. I like
the
that.
sea sorceress. Yeah.
Sounds like a
So the SS.
the SS. Yes. And I think she's like rakes up here somewhere in
Whoa! Whoa! Hell!
in the
Hey,
hierarchy.
you're way
of
too.
sea creatures.
You are way too in the military to be making those jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. The simple. I was saying she's just up here, like in.
Yeah. Uh huh.
I,
Uh huh.
I don't know. It's like just below your nose. Do you need to scratch there?
We've entered
Ridiculous.
some curious territory, lads.
Who the heck is that? Is that Xander?
What's happening to Xander? Why is he talking like that?
We've entered. Aye, laddie. We've entered some curious territory.
I think next time we need to get on an hour early so you guys can get all this out of your system before we start playing the game.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Like the silly.
This is
You don't
this is an
appreciate
amazing
silly?
spice on top of the game. Right. All right. So we got a few things to talk to her about. Yeah.
And then off to
Now-
the Chainless.
Yeah. A bit more serious matter there. So the anybody notice anything? Because we've been walking for a little bit now, and the lady back in town did say that the trees like do stuff around here.
Maybe
Um,
use your golden eyes. See if maybe there's like a trace of magic around the area.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. It only goes so far, but
I mean,
so,
you could. Don't you have your other sets of magic eyes that lets you see through stuff? You could
Yeah,
do
but-
those, and Zender could do the detect magic.
yeah, it's not. It's just not a super far distance. Still, it'd be only
Oh, all right.
a few 10 yards or so out. Yeah, I'll keep watching out for magic, but
All right.
ain't gonna give us a long bit of.
What was the
Heads
name
up.
of the blacksmith? Anyway, I know I've asked before, but I forgot to write it down. I'll roll
Let me
for it.
go pull that information up for you real quick.
Thank you.
You know, the
Thank you
good note
kindly.
takers, got to take the good notes. So
I'm gonna take a
Her-
note this time.
her name is
Uh-huh.
Nathavel.
That sounds fine. Once I heard it, I knew that was it.
Nathavel blacksmith of the like moths blacksmith.
There you go. Somebody wrote it down. Unless Eric hacked my computer and just copy pasted it from my GM notes, you know?
Right there.
Okay.
He has all of your GM notes, all of them.
All 2 pages.
And
So,
I could get access to that. Whatever I wanted.
So, you guys continue on unhindered due to the re-rolling of your survival check. You know, it's relatively easygoing. This is still mostly rough terrain with slight patches of moss as opposed to the wetlands that you've been experiencing thus far. Louise, up ahead you do see 3 things. The coloration of the trees about 300-400 feet ahead of you turns into this maroonish brown red, almost like in certain spots like blood colored leaves, as well as the bottoms of the trunks way up ahead look like they've been blackened somehow. Before that, so you're still 300-400 feet back, there are little patches as it's turned more from a wetlands into still a marshy, little puddles here and there, but mostly now it's turning into a dark sand that is wet. And so the first time you step in this material, it's like stepping on a wet, sandy beach. As you continue moving forward a bit, kind of keeping an eye out for, like, this is a strange change in the topography in a jungle, one of your feet kind of goes in about 6 inches and takes you a couple seconds to pull it out, and you're like, okay, I guess I'll try to avoid the deeper sections, whatever that means. And as you're kind of picking your way over a particular route, you do manage to avoid, you see like a lizard falls out of a tree as it was attempting to jump out of the tree and land on you and kind of like move out of the way, and it hits the sand, and there's these little like barbed teeth that come up out of this reddish brown wet sand and just engulf the lizard and pull it down below. And then as the teeth retract, there's like no sign of anything having broken the surface, almost like as though it was water.
All right, so I'll take out my staff and just poke the ground as we go.
Okay. So
This man is wild.
carrying that on, and you poke a little bit here, like, all right, that seems a little more safe, and poke a little bit there. Like the 4th or 5th time that you do, you poke and it goes a little bit in, and these small little mouth of some kind grabs onto the end of your, it's a staff you have, or
Yeah, my staff,
okay.
yeah.
All right, make a strength check for me.
Surely he doesn't lose this.
I was so close to rolling in that one.
All right.
I was
yeah.
so close.
This guy's brolic.
So you easily kind of pull it back and realize that this may be a problem going forward.
Yeah.
You do lead them another 200 feet through this without much issue. I'm assuming you call out to the rest of your group the fact that this is a problem. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Yep.
Back at the witch's shop, did the lady dare tell us anything about how to get by, like, well, this beach, you call it?
Not that I recall, but
Yeah,
I don't
'cause
have a very keen mind, so.
Just avoid them.
How?
No, I don't.
You need to be able to see them to avoid them.
Mm.
I say we get an easy fix, honestly. Like, we've been traveling together for quite some time. We all know that magic abounds in the land. Garen, I'm sure you've heard how good Xander is. Xander, just cast fly on all of us, and we can just, soar over this. You're certainly capable, aren't you?
You can make us fly.
Well, I mean, I don't have it ready today. I wasn't really expecting to run into this situation.
Oh. These are the limitations on wizards, Garen, honestly. But they're
Well,
ready for anything, but,
I would have assumed a man as traveled as you
Underestimated.
would have the capacity to do that as well, Blackstar.
No, I have people for that, but apparently my people aren't very reliable, so.
Yeah, sure. Eldritch Blast. No.
Roll initiative.
Uh,
No.
I'm joking.
no, I'm sorry. I don't have it right now.
Let me light it on fire. Let's see how that works.
Well,
you know the sand is wet,
The
right?
sand?
Sand is wet.
so the lady, the daughter in town, did say that the Sea Witch has invited us to come speak with her, and she did. She also said that the trees let her maw through, so maybe we just
Good
let
point.
the
So-
woods know that we're guests.
Blackstar turns to the closest tree. Excuse me, kind shrub. We've been invited by the Sea Witch to visit her, make some deals, we have some business. Could you possibly, see it in your oaken heart to guide our path?
Make a persuasion check.
Nice.
Guys, we should just put our feet in the mouths of these things, let them drag us into the sand, and we'll get teleported.
Obviously,
Ooh.
that's how you get to the witch.
It's one of the lost levels.
Glad you gave me that inspiration. I'm gonna use it.
Oh, it was almost another nat one.
Almost,
I
yeah.
saw.
That would have been
18. Okay. And just to give you a little bit better of an understanding of what you're seeing in front of you, it was patchy sand mud spots up to a certain point, and now it's just like completely covers the entire ground, a good 200 feet to what you see to be like almost like a ring of bushes that are like 20 feet tall that are just kind of obscuring your view of whatever is beyond them. And there is this like 2-tree entry point, basically like a way to get in between the two of them. The trees now at the point that you've reached are the blackened based ones with these red and kind of bloody leaves that are just ahead of you. You're about to step into where the forest changes over to that point. As Blackstar says this out into the treescape that's here, the trees just ever so slightly shift. Very, very slightly, almost imperceptibly, as the leaves at the tops of the canopy begin to part very, very slowly, just from your view to your destination. And for the first time, above the tops of the trees, you see a singular spire that is not a tower. It is a singular piece of wood that looks like a tree, although it does not have any branches at all. It is like a tree trunk that reaches 150 feet into the air, which is 3 times the size of the trees that are around here now. And it's like odd and curved at an angle, but the thickness of it, even from what you can see from this perspective, it's probably 30 to 40 feet across. And it itself begins to kind of make a very loud creaking sound. And then you hear something else.
I didn't think that would actually work, but
I'm glad I checked my notes.
I'm glad you had that spell prepared, Blackstar.
you're welcome, Garen. My talent never ceases to amaze others.
Is it because you were prepared?
I'm always prepared with this face
Combat?
and these chords
Combat.
in my vocals. Huh?
Guys, he only puts this song
No,
on when
tense
it's
moment.
combat.
That's not
No,
true.
it's tense moments. No, it's tense moments that could lead to combat.
There's a loud sound that sounds like a combination of a giant tree being rent in two and the loudest dog bark you've ever heard in your entire life. And there's almost a sound wave that comes out from this large tree-like thing that you're seeing in front of you. And what you hear is this very, very low, it follows that first sound, a very, very low, guttural, almost a growl, but you can tell it's a voice, and it's coming from the clearing in front of you. It just simply sounds like, and just gets louder and louder and louder. I would like all of you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Is it a
Guys,
spell?
I normally
is not a
pass
spell.
these.
Not
I
a
normally
spell.
pass these.
Is this a death saving throw?
No, it is not.
Like I said, I normally pass these.
Ooh.
Or are we
One.
being poisoned or diseased?
This is the
No.
third one tonight. The third not one.
No!
Everybody out here with these green dice.
Interesting.
I like
Black Stars was the natural 20?
Yeah, I had a
Yeah,
natural
Black
20.
Star
I'm
was
still
natural.
here though. I'm muted and my camera off, but I'm still here.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Huh. Oh no. Okay.
Wiser.
The
You and I.
I'm gonna roll a d6 here because it was gonna be whoever rolled the highest, but two of you rolled the same number. All right, B2. All the rest of you hear and B2, you hear a voice in your head to the same rhythm that everyone else hears, this low, bassy tone. Who dares enter Salagastra's grove?
Our trial and arrow. We come in peace. We were invited, and I'm gonna look to the rest of the group because I'm assuming B2's talking out loud. Like, right? Because to him, he's still kind of confused on what we're doing here, right? It hasn't really been. Because I think Chris missed that part be explained when I was late that one session, so.
Yeah, that's why we're here. You heard something.
Yeah, who are you talking to?
Yes, don't you hear the voice coming from the grove?
No,
No.
that might be just you, fella.
Did
Oh.
some of your wires get crossed? Or...
Are you also a magic user?
What did B2 respond with? I'm sorry, I was listening to what. Apparently not what you said. I'm sorry.
We're travelers who were asked to visit or invited to visit the witch that lives here.
I don't know if I can trust the word of someone like you. But come closer if you dare. And the leaves of the trees just kind of filter in back to their original position, and you can no longer see this loud tree that was talking to you.
He said, "You cannot trust the words of someone like me, and to come closer if I dare. Should I walk forward without my weapon as a act of faith?"
I don't know about that. Disarming oneself usually ain't a good idea. I think we should all just continue forward like we were doing, right?
Yeah, I agree.
We'll be coming forward like the voice asked.
Yes.
Unless he was only speaking to B2 and only gave him permission.
I can.
Is it still
Lead.
talking to you, or now that it's closed off, it's not talking no more?
I have not heard its voice.
You do all still hear the low, repetitive rumble coming from the direction as though it's still talking, but B2, you just hear that low rumble. You don't hear her voice anymore.
I can walk in first, if that is the best choice.
Well, get yourself a stick just to make sure your footing's sure. But yeah, you could take the lead since it felt like talking to you.
Okay.
But I
yeah,
don't think you should go on your own.
I'll be right behind you.
I do not know this land, but I think it is best that we do not do anything to hurt it.
It's probably a good call.
And B2 will walk forward, and instead of picking up a stick off the ground to like check my feet, I'll use my sword that's sheathed like as
A walking stick.
yeah, just to that way I'm not even interfering with anything of nature. Just
So you're not even poking the sand, you're just using it like a walking stick and
well,
moving
no,
forward?
yeah, I'm just kind of slightly ahead of me, not too far.
Gotcha.
But
And everyone
not
else is following
harshly.
suit?
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably pretty single file to
Okay.
make sure we're on the same path.
Gotcha. So single file, you'll travel forward. Louise,
Yep.
I don't know whether or not you're towards the front of the group. You usually are with your perceptive nature that you have. You do notice as you begin to go into this grove of trees that look scarred by something, blackened and charred. The ground itself, even the sand at the base of these trees, you see little shards of glass mixed in with the sand itself, kind of jutting up at odd angles. And as you get about 15 or 20 feet closer to your destination, the thing that you pick up on besides that is the sound of breathing. It sounds like the trees around you are breathing. And they're not very far apart. They're also not super close together. The closest is probably 8 or 10 feet together, which is actually pretty close. But for the most part, it's like 15 to 20 feet apart here and there, kind of spread throughout. And as you notice this breathing, you kind of like look up and you can see the branches and the leaves retract and expand with this breathing, like it's an organism, some kind of hive mind network that's surrounding this grove that you're moving towards. Another 5 feet, and the breathing heightens. One of the trees next to you, and there's a red bit of blood-like glowing energy that kind of runs down the base of the trunk and out to the roots, and there is an explosion of fire that actually sets off 2 of the other trees around where you are. I would like everyone to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Well, that's right up Black Star's alley.
Yeah.
For once, it isn't Black Star started fire.
Yeah.
I get advantage on dex saves. Yay.
Man, B2's rolling good today. What did I do?
Something the rest of us did, apparently.
Okay. Let me look at these real quick. Looks like Rezzyr is the only one who failed. Yeah. Rezzyr, you take 22 points of fire damage. Everybody else takes 11 points of fire damage.
Uh-oh.
Unless you have resistance to it, in which case. But it is because of this chain reaction all around you, which causes you to probably think about hastening your pace as you hear the tree then exhaling and beginning its long inhale again. Just the way Louise's mind works, I'm sure, is quick calculation after being burned by the tree of what the radius is around this, and you calculate that if you all run at your full pace, if you're not caught by something in the sand, you probably can make it to your destination without being hit by another one of these trees.
Is it rounded up or rounded down?
Down.
Resistance. Okay.
Yeah,
On the move.
right, rounded down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
5 points of fire damage. Yeah.
No more going slow.
Yeah.
That hurt. Let's go.
Pick up the pace.
I liked it a little bit.
Of course you did.
Okay. Is anybody doing anything to help in this breakneck next 15 seconds as you're
Yes,
running
I
the
am.
last little bit? Okay.
I have Mantle of Inspiration. Bonus action, Spend one use of Bardic Inspiration to grant 5 temp HP to 5 within my eyesight. And each creature can immediately use its reaction to move to its speed without provoking opportunity attack. So,
Okay. How many creatures
I
is
start to strum, inspiring everyone to move faster. Everyone gets 5 temp HP except myself. And I just start singing, "We're going downtown to see sorceress. Violent arrow we're swinging. Be the number one with a bullet." And we just...
Oh, I was hoping he was going to finish it up with something that was awesome.
Can't do it.
I think Garrett would. I don't know who's not strong. I would want to pick someone out to help with running. So I'll pick up Blackstar since he started playing music.
Well, so I'm going to ask for a roll from Blackstar.
Just,
It's kind of like a skill challenge here. This last leg of this little
Can I
sprint
not
that you're
spend the
doing.
Bardic Inspiration for it then? And just play, like, trying to inspire people?
Sure.
Instead of using the what's it called? I'll just, like, playing to inspire everyone to move faster then?
I mean, you were using it to make this better, right? So
make us faster.
So-
'cause-
That's just the skill is, like, specifically makes us move faster. But if you want a skill thing, because normally it's not rolled at all.
but
it's just-
so in this instance, you're expending a resource to sacrifice to try. So I'm going to give you advantage on your performance
what?
check that
You're
I'm going
right.
to ask for.
Fine.
Um,
I'm not going to argue with you. You're smarter than me.
You have an
Thank you, sir.
advantage.
Thank you for...
He gave
I
you
have
advantage.
I thought it gave us advantage.
No, you're rolling the performance check to see how it affects everyone else and whether or not this is a success or a failure.
I got one more.
Woo!
Wow. Okay. 23
Good thing
is a
I have a
success.
great performance.
All right. So you run another 50 feet forward at a breakneck pace, and then on. That's a success. Garen, you said you were going to pick some.
I'm picking up Blackstar. Yeah, I'm picking up Blackstar while he's playing. So he just focuses
playing
on
music.
playing.
And you just put him up on your shoulder and you're running while he's strumming and playing music. That's amazing.
This is beautiful.
I just imagine Garen carrying Black Swords on one shoulder with the arm wrapped around his legs, just
Off the back.
I'd rather
Yeah,
be
the
like
branches.
forward carried, so I'm like cradled like a child.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Princess Gary.
Yeah.
Princess Gary.
Oh man.
Save
Okay.
me, Garen. Oh, save me, Garen.
Okay. So you're emboldening everybody else to keep running forward, even though Blackstar's the only one that you're carrying. So
Black Star, quickly.
leaving everybody in the dust, but you know it's carrying the sound forward. I don't know what to ask you for this one.
Athletics.
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 Sure.
Athletics.
Athletics. Sure. Go ahead and roll with athletics. Absolutely.
You know, you ever seen like a pro athlete perform and you're like, man, I can do.
No, never once. Dude, that's 4. That's 4 at once.
Oh boy, howdy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Tonight,
I mean-
tonight. I don't know about tonight.
Man, dude.
Jesus, Jay, what did you do?
Because you're carrying Black Star, I'm gonna use my Chronal Shift on that.
Because
so you
you're
can roll.
Yeah, because that
Two
could go
people.
bad.
Yeah, because if he was carrying Rezzyr, he wouldn't have used it.
No, if it was
it'd
just
been
him,
perfectly fine.
it's like okay, we can live with that. But like drop.
So you're saying, oh, it's alright if Garen
Like,
dies?
no. Because if anybody else had rolled in that one, I would have also lived with that. But because he's carrying Black Star, and that's 2 people that fail from the nat one inherently.
Mhm.
So
So he's saying Black Star is more important than the rest of them.
ay Dios
Yeah.
mío.
I mean,
Okay. So reroll.
it's out there now.
23.
Everyone knows.
That's a success. So Xander, in the moment, sees something bad about to occur. One of the little like things comes up and grabs onto Garen's foot, and he like starts to like go into a roll on the sand. And the only person who actually knows what happened is Xander, because he's like rolling back time with his chrono. That's not really how it works, but that's how we're flavoring it. He puts his hand out, and Garen does this weird like reverse thing where he gets back on his foot and actually lands on the thing and squishes it into the ground as he's running, and then just keeps on.
Can I pick up
jogging
anyone
forward.
else? Like, am I strong enough to carry 2 people, or I have to just carry 1?
You could probably pick up me, but you're after like anybody
I
else. You're
would've-
pushing it. You're pushing
I
it.
want to pick up the weakest people, which I would imagine in my head is all 4 of them because they're all magic users. But
Brutal.
I'll pick up.
Brutal.
I'll pick up. I would want to pick up Xander at Blackstar.
Physically weakest, probably.
I'm
Yeah.
not even
physically
offended.
weakest. Physically.
I mean, Rezzyr is like the smallest, so
All right, he is small.
It might be the shortest,
yeah,
but
the
that's
shortest. Yep. All right. So you scoop up Xander, and now you've got a Black Star and a Xander, and you're just like, boop, 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 boop. All right.
Heck yeah.
So that was 2 successes. We're looking for 1 more. Who's pulling in the third? Thing
I was
here?
I was
You're gonna
thinking
start
of
throwing good
watching,
berries at people?
trying to see where they'll.
One trick pony, just good berries.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
I
totally interrupted you. Go ahead.
Sensi bean.
Sensi
I was
bean.
trying. I was gonna say I'm gonna try to perceive this perception where they'll. And lions, the insect that makes like little traps as well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And where the little mouths
Okay.
are.
The
right.
Venus flytrap type plants that we're up against right now.
Yep. So this is
Yeah.
a separate ability check from what everybody else has been doing. So that's perfectly fine, even though obviously it's your strongest thing. You're gonna perceive and guide them, perceive and guide them to avoid it. By the way, this entire time as you've been running, there's the constant explosions of the trees from behind you. So total
We're in a
action
Tom
movie
Cruise movie, is
running
what you're
through.
saying?
Yep.
A Michael Bay movie.
25. There it is. All right, there's the third and final success. As you reach the end of your journey, of dodging and weaving around these trees, and Louise sees a couple of these little sandcrawler type things just kind of like poised beneath the surface, even though you can't see them because it's a glassy sand surface there. He's just like, it has these instincts. His intuition kicks in, and he's just like, bam, 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 hitting them as he's running through. Just hitting them out of the sand, and you guys all come careening through this kind of makeshift archway of these 2 trees with the bushes that surround this glade that you're all piling into. The final explosions out as you exit into the grove of the Sea Witch.
I want to use my ring to give myself 5 extra temporary hit points.
Okay.
Now that I think I'm in defense mode, I'm thinking that we're in trouble. So
We already have temp HP from Black Star's.
oh, it doesn't
Oh,
stack.
yeah,
Mental
you would
inspiration.
overall- yeah,
It
you
doesn't
would over.
stack. Jeez. Okay.
I lied about not getting up again. I have to pee so bad.
Go quick while he finds the map or something. Checks his notes.
I think the temp HP will only last 10 minutes, but it doesn't specifically say. Or does it just last until it's gone?
If it doesn't
I'm not
say
sure.
otherwise, temp HP lasts until you take a short or long rest.
Okay.
Mine specifically only lasts for an hour, so from what I remember. Yeah. For an hour. Also another question about them. Is this like a bonus action or an action if I were to use it in combat?
I mean,
The ring that you gave, the homebrew one?
does it not say
I had to make it, so I maybe I should check the
which
notes. The death mirror.
death mirror?
It might have said, and I just
You can expend 1 charge as a bonus action to gain 5 temporary hit
Okay,
points
there
for
we
1
go.
hour.
thank you.
Has anyone ever had clam strips? Fried clam strips? Because these are the best thing on the planet.
They're pretty amazing.
In case anyone's not had them before, like everyone should have them.
We have all kinds of stuff like that in New England where we live.
That's what I figured, but I mean, Felix is Canadian, so I don't know what they like other than curdled cheese with gravy on top. Put
poutine
it
is
out there.
delicious. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude,
Maple,
I'm not saying it's
maple
not.
syrup.
Right, maple syrup. Old Bay clam strips though. Best thing.
I'm so
You're
excited
welcome.
I get to see the map this time.
Yeah.
Where is that's
Pretty
near?
looking. It's a pretty looking map.
It is.
I want to
Thanks.
edit this. My creations. Cool.
Ooh,
We can't play with the doors.
I know. Like, no, the game's paused.
I was
Because just so you know, Tim, we're able to see everything like inside the building as well.
Yeah,
it's
there's
All right.
it's supposed to be that way.
I clicked too much. I keep getting a bunch of notifications saying the game is paused.
Your hubris is.
Oh, because you're trying to open the door.
Yeah,
So the
because I did it a few times, but for the notifications catch up, so there were 3 on the screen. One would fade away, and your one would pop up just as soon as the other one left.
Mm-hmm. I was.
So I closed them all.
I know that Xander is probably going to have a lot to say about this, like immediately as soon as I give the description. So I didn't kind of wait for him to come back before I jump into that description.
Curse Jason in this small bladder.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, all along
area.
that run, if you didn't already have temporary hit points, you could have just, like, you had, like, 1 in each arm. You could have just, like, spoke the command word and gotten 5 temporary hit points while you were sprinting 150 feet while there were explosions going on around you. I think Garen probably looked the most action star, for sure. But what I was kind of insinuating was that last explosion from the trees kind of, like, pushed you all forward and you kind of went careening. It's not like down a hill or anything, but just like into the space and are knocked prone on the ground and have to pick yourselves back up off the grass that's there. That's it. Just for the visual.
what a way to
Great
end it.
visual.
So Jason, I was waiting for you to get back so I can actually start the description of this area here, but I pulled you all to the map that's here just to kind of also give you a visual representation. But despite the fact that there was a lot of fire and bad things behind you in a very desolate jungle-like atmosphere, and I kept calling attention to the humidity and the heat, it is perfectly temperate in this glade. And it's the wee hours of the morning, because it didn't take you... Oh. It's still relatively early morning. The sun has come up, but it's not fully up in the sky. And what light is coming through at this point is reflecting off of a small babbling stream that's here that you can see roots beneath, pushing from who knows where. Perhaps the giant monumental-sized tree stick that's 30 or 40 feet wide that has no branches and no leaves and no visible features of any kind other than being a giant branch that looks like it's stuck in the ground that's about 150 feet tall. That just, you have that ever so slight sound as it kind of like the top of it kind of bends downwards, almost as though it's looking down at you in the grove that it's on the other side of. These bushes are completely covered and littered with these fireflies, but they reflect off of this like weird ethereal blue and green mystical energy that seems to be running through the leaves that are in this grove. And they're in the roots themselves as well, as though this giant branch is lending itself to the grove. Obviously, some portion of the Feywild or portals or something have touched this, because these fireflies are the same fireflies that you saw previously at your camp. There are 2 small buildings and an array of strange multicolored plants that you've never seen before. Look like they've been purposely planted and decorated in some kind of garden-like fashion. The sides of the main structure that looks like it's a hut or a home, because it has a chimney with some smoke kind of coming out of the top of it. There is a singular door in the front of it, and a little like broken window that's kind of like off kilter to the side. and a small little kind of like crack next to it. Through that crack comes a small metal shaft or stick that points in your direction. I forgot to mention the bridge, but you can see it on the map there. There's a footbridge that leads over this water to this central island.
This place is neat.
The voice comes from the hut.
Yeah.
Who goes there?
We are
Howdy.
called. Oh yeah, go ahead. No, it's you this time.
You got the silver tongue.
No, it's fine. Your tongue is also made of something. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. We're kind of workshopping the name, but I think we're calling ourselves Trial and Arrow. Anyway, we're from Sayor.
Not
And we were at
originally,
the-
but we just came from there.
Yeah.
There's a
and
sound
we're-
from as you're in the middle of talking from within the hut of this metal stick that's poking out. Don't,
So the witch has a gun.
Oh, we're in Texas.
shotgun. Oh boy.
I have a
metal
right to defend
stick.
my
Don't-
home.
What are y'all
kids doing on my lawn?
I have
You
a
gotta-
right to defend my home is crazy.
Get a nice
Now-
British accent or England accent.
don't come any further, or I may be forced to use this rather interesting implement.
Your friend back at the
Yeah.
shop told us you were expecting us.
Or daughter, was it? Maybe?
Daughter.
What's
It's her daughter.
what's this person's name who you spoke with?
Nathavel, I believe she said.
No,
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 that's the
no.
blacksmith.
That's
that's
not
the-
her.
Nathavel sent you.
No, she
No,
didn't.
that's-
Wrong.
Did I just not write down her goddamn
I like to believe Rezzyr is like looking at Sayor, trying to remember all the people he met over there. Oh, Nath.
That might be the one name I forgot to write down.
I don't have it.
This is
I have the name of
before
the
Garen,
gun
right?
at the dock, but I don't have her name.
Like Garen doesn't know this.
No,
Yes,
V2 doesn't have it.
No, Xander, nobody.
Jeez, guys.
Well, the other
Oh,
two,
yeah,
two of you
let's-
weren't there for the conversation, so obviously
Yeah, it
you're,
wasn't me.
Obviously, you're at fault.
B2
was
goes,
there.
I have no idea.
We could roll intelligence to see if we remember it if you let us.
I will allow two of you to roll a history check,
A history check. All right, guys.
which
I'm
is based
one
on
of them.
intelligence.
Yeah.
I'll
So
do it.
this is more for the fun of it, honestly.
Yeah.
History.
Yeah, sorry.
You rolled a 7, but you got an 18. Okay. He rolled a 7 and got an 11.
Yeah.
7-11.
Duality of man.
Xander, you're like, is it Megan?
Megan Fox?
Marscapan.
Oh.
Beginning with an M. Can't quite put my finger on it. Oh, right. It was the girl who was infatuated with Louise and was like staring at him while she was having a
Right.
conversation with the rest of the group. Her name was Moira.
Moira.
Mm-hmm.
Moira. Her name was Moira. Don't shoot. Don't
There's-
shoot.
She pulls the end of the shotgun through the building.
It's
and
a shot. It's actually a shotgun.
pulls it into the building, and you hear some rustling around a little bit, and the door opens. I will unpause the maps, and you guys can do whatever you want to do, but Felix goes over and immediately just rapid spams the door.
Eric is also doing it.
I got the other one. I got the other one.
Let's go. Teamwork.
Sanders just... Okay.
Zooming around.
The door to the front of the cabin opens up, and this very well put together human woman who looks like she's in her mid to late 70s with long gray strands of silver hair that comes down in a floppy black and purple embroidered witch's hat. It's kind of floppy and has a point on the end, but it kind of comes up and angles at a section and then kind of just hangs out in back of where she is. She's wearing simple, like very, very dark blue linen clothes. And she has what looks to be 2 separate medallions that are hanging down from her neck. Very, very simple. She's not holding a staff, although she does carry the shotgun out with her. I'm just calling it that because the rest of you guys haven't seen something like that necessarily before.
We've seen a musket.
You've seen a musket.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not close enough.
Double musket.
It's a firearm.
I mean, if it's double barreled, it wouldn't have cocked.
You know of firearms. I don't know that B2 and Garen probably. Garen may have encountered maybe a revolver or something like that in the past. Obviously, Rezzyr has his revolver.
Totally working revolver.
But B2
Totally
probably
works.
hasn't come across, at least that he can remember, any firearms. So she's kind of holding it, using it almost like a walking stick. The butt of it kind of hits the ground, and there is a bit of cobblestone that's here, as though there was some kind of maybe a castle or a keep, or this was a road of some kind. You're not entirely certain, but it seems odd. Like, why would she have put this here? And it's the only spot. It's kind of leading just a short section to the bridge, and then short sections to each of these buildings, and they're kind of intermingled with vines and long grasses that come out at odd angles. But she walks forward, and she's kind of thin, and does not look like a hag at all.
Yeah,
Looks
because she's
like
a sea witch, not a hag.
So Moira
Howdy.
sent you. Well, you've come all this way.
Does she look old?
Said about 7.
Or 70, 80.
80, right? Okay.
You just asked-
I'm sorry. I missed that part.
Yeah, mid to late 70s. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Missed that part. My bad.
She's probably one of the oldest looking people that you've seen, apart from Matthias Terramore and maybe one other person in
Right.
some random town. Most people are not old in this world.
Human?
I
She's human.
shoot a quick look to Xander and just
I'm gonna take
Rezzyr-
another old person's
Rezzyr-
line.
Rezzyr's foaming at the mouth. He's like,
Got Rezzyr's old age. He's the
He's like,
Grim
I got-
Reaper, but only for old people.
yeah, he's like, I gotta kill the old person. I gotta do it.
Ageism.
that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
You hear sound again that you heard previously of this repetitive sound coming from. It's much, much louder from the grove, and you can visibly see now the sound waves coming out from this large tree, branchless tree, and but none of you hear any voice in your head. But the sea witch turns and looks up at it. No, I don't think they will be staying for dinner. Depends on how this conversation goes. My name is Salagastra. I would say it's a pleasure to have you. I know I did invite you, but I don't know exactly your true purpose. But I am intrigued, the fact that you actually came.
Right. Well, thank you for having us. We got a couple of pieces of business that we're here for. Bit of talking, bit of delivering, on behalf of some folk. You let me know if you want us to come across the bridge or not, but we do have something for you. That is rightfully yours that we've helped somebody get back a hold of so that it can be returned to you.
Before
First off, at least.
I allow you to come any further, I'm going to make a statement, and then I'm going to ask for your word that you're going to keep to the statement. While you are here, or while I am here, I will not ask any questions about Moira. While I am here, I will cause no harm to the grove or its denizens, or Salagastra, or Nerriman. or eighth.
Nerriman, like the cat thing?
I haven't finished speaking yet.
Sorry.
The location of this grove will remain secret, and I will not share it with anyone else for the rest of my life. I will not share its location with anyone else for the rest of my life. Now, I need you to only say, I give you my word. Each of you.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I just heard a story when I was little about like a witch taking a little girl's voice because she wanted to go on land. Is this like that type of deal where we're not going to be able to talk afterwards, or?
You have to excuse him. He's not around here. He doesn't deal often with matters such as this. I give you my word, Adam.
I give you my word.
Very, very reasonable. Don't ask about your daughter. Don't mess up your place. Don't talk about where you live. You got my word.
Give me my word.
Mine as well.
Yeah, you have my word. But I guess if the bard isn't scared about losing his voice.
Dude, I'm not excited for 5 sessions from now when Blackstar inevitably says something.
This is just, we're all gonna lose our voice. It's gonna be mute campaign, text only communication from now on.
I believe all of you acquiesced except for the large one. Didn't actually say what I asked you to.
What does that word mean?
You have to say.
You gotta say. You can't just say. You just gotta say I agree. I give you my word, rather than just whatever acknowledgement you said.
I give you my word.
Very well. I appreciate all of your forthrightness, and you're welcome to Salagastra's grove. This is my fond compatriot, Eighth. Say hello, Eighth. And the large tree just... No one hears any language of any kind. But it rumbles the ground, and the trees in the surrounding forest shake from the sound of it.
That's terrible. Quick question before we get started. Do you have any like finger foods or like meats or we've been eating a lot of berries recently and I think it's really tearing up my digestive system. Maybe we could sit down, converse, and then get into business after we've dined and introduced ourselves and answered any questions you'd like to ask.
You've come to visit me. I of course would be willing to put on my hostess cap and invite you in for a cup of tea, please. Follow me. She kind of isn't begrudged that you're here, but the fact that Blackstar asked for finger foods, and so turns around back to you and
just got a
walks.
nosebleed.
Oh snap! Yes, you did.
What?
Blammo. It's a nosebleed.
Oh.
Walks back to her door. As she gets to the door, a little purple portal kind of apparates near the door, and Nerriman comes strolling out of it, and the kind of goes away, and the cat just follows her into her hut. She pays no mind to it, and as you all begin to enter in, she asks you to close the door. There is just a bed, a fireplace that's currently lit, giving this nice warm glow to the interior of the space. A somewhat broken rocking chair and a ratty old rug and carpet that's on the floor, but a wide variety and range of various herbs and little potions and things that are just very well organized, but set up on like a million different shelves and hanging from the ceiling. And it's not like there's not like bones and skins of things. It's like a very well established herbalist and perhaps magician that has organized all of their things. It's almost like it's like she's categorized every single plant and thing that she's found along her journeys and labeled everything. Xander's probably losing his mind in this place right now.
I love the decor. I'm thoroughly intrigued by everything you have here. We have a bit of a scholar ourselves here. This young man is constantly scribbling things in his notebook. I'm sure he'd love to pick your brain about some of this.
Yeah, I mean, if we have time after we're done talking about what we're talking about, or if you like, if you want me to stay, like we can have a conversation. You know, even if you kick the rest of them out, um, I like learning things.
Kind of things do you like learning about?
Oh, I mean everything. Different cultures, different history, new spells.
Oh,
I mean, there's.
I
mean,
think
pretty
the
much-
list of what he doesn't care to learn about is shorter than the other one, than what you just asked, by a large margin.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I would be happy to help you with something if you wish after we're finished with our conversation.
Just make a deal with it.
Just so I have an understanding of exactly who's here. Now, I am who they refer to as the Sea Witch. So I'm originally from the sea. But I do have... You give me your word you're not going to do anything untoward while you're here. But I do have one request that some of you may find a bit strange. Will help me to have an understanding of who you are without me needing to hear all of your escapades and tales of where you've been. All I need is a simple drop of blood. I have a small basin here. She takes what looks to be a standard pitcher of water and fills a small wooden basin and brings it over. It has a little ladle in it for whatever reason. And she goes to offer it to whoever. I can grab you a knife if you need, or a needle. Or if you don't wish to proceed with this, I can put the basin back and we can get right down to business.
I mean, I'll do it. This is
I
intriguing.
mean, what is it? So what is it?
Why
for?
do you need the blood?
Louise
Well.
is currently having a nosebleed. He just sit over the water basin. You just sit over the basin.
Are you all right, Felix?
Yeah, I just bleed.
Yeah.
I went to grab the trash can so I could just
Gotcha.
stay here so I don't have to go away every time.
The purpose of this is to give me an idea of who you are. Will infuse your past and perhaps your future. I'm a bit of I wouldn't call myself a master of divination, but I dabble in it a bit, and I'd like to know a little bit more about each of you.
I'll totally do it. And then Blackstar pulls out his dagger and kind of cuts his finger.
I would just like to roll insight.
Okay. You can go ahead and
Can
roll
I
insight.
do that too since I
Tell me-
asked?
An 8.
Since you asked, weren't you asking her in character what she?
Like what she needs the blood for?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll insight. Sure.
Got an 8.
She seems pretty forthcoming. 22.
Woo!
What were you trying to glean, Karen, with your insight? Just whether or not she was telling the truth about what she needs the blood for?
That it's only for that and nothing else, I guess. If I could even ascertain that.
Okay. You feel that she seems truthful in needing the blood for this particular thing, and are unsure as to whether or not she intends to use it for something else. But it's, I shouldn't just. There's a possibility.
Yeah.
Blackstar squeezes his blood into the basin. This is fun.
I'll have to politely decline. I like to keep
I
the
mean,
past to
w-
myself.
Would
I'll
yours
answer
even
any
count
questions
as
you might
blood?
have.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
blood.
It
No, not
does.
his. Rezzyr's.
It's like dust, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Exactly.
Okay, so Blackstar said he's willing to do it, and who else was willing to do it?
Me too, of course.
Hey, Karen.
No, but I think
I needed to
Um,
get my oil change anyway. Just
I think I'll,
there's a valve.
I think I stand with the green one on this.
I ain't even got any green on, but
Man, they're really.
Are you actually not
Yeah,
green?
No, yeah, I was gonna say, wait, I didn't
He's like
say I was doing
green.
anything.
like around the
mean,
gills.
green, that's
The-
it.
He's
That's about
sickly. He looks sickly.
Ah, right. Okay.
More
Then
pale than anything.
So
the
Black
pale
Star
one.
kind of nicks his finger, drops the blood in the water, and she walks over now and like just says directly to Black Star, "Are you wanting me to keep this secret?"
No, I'm excited. Let it out. I want to know. This is you guys haven't done this before in Tal Noro. There are some seers, but I don't feel like they have the panache that you do. I'm super interested in this.
The man who's, let's say, wanted. Yeah, wanted wants someone to know where he is at all time.
Well, I mean, she could probably take me out now. She could take me out later. She probably could have taken me out before we got here. So I mean, at this point,
You talking like taking you out to dinner or something? What do you
that'd be
mean?
nice. But I was talking about killing me. So
And I mean, age-wise, I think she might be more in your group, Rezzyr.
she's right here, you cad.
You're all saying this out loud in front of her. She's just
Yeah.
kind of like eyeing all of you and kind of shaking her head.
No,
Going
I
back-
mean I'm
back to Black
staring at the
Star.
basin right now.
She takes a
Xander, come on.
wand from within her robe and kind of swirls it over this. The basin's not very big. It's like maybe 1.5 feet across. Waves it over it, and it turns completely still. Lord of the Rings style, where the image kind of floats to the top, and you see Black Star, the image of your mother.
Ooh.
And the image begins to move, and she's going about her day on the streets of Tel Noro. A little Black Star running behind her, being
Hey,
taught
that's me.
the ways of living amongst Tel Noro. There's a red painting that you recall having seen on the wall at the Spiked Glove, but you can't remember at what age you were when you were there. But you remember that painting. It was something that you always saw. Never really paid too much attention to, but you saw it, and it reminds you of home. And another flashback of seeing your mother lying dead on the ground.
Oof.
Whether or not you, as a little boy, cried at the death of your mother, an image of a young Black Star sitting on a curb in the streets, crying as the rain pours down, and it feels helpless, as though no one's there to guide you anymore. But you know Grignac was there. And yet, this memory feels less like something that actually happened and more like a possibility or a feeling that you had at this moment in your story, your backstory. There's another kind of fluid motion to the water, and it fast forwards a little bit, and you're being taught by oh man,
Majestic.
How majestic.
no, not Count
Oh,
Majestic.
Jericho.
Jericho. You're going through the motions of learning how to fight, because otherwise, I don't know whether or not it was only your mother that taught you, but you had to have learned something from the Spiked Gloves. You're going through your initiation process, and you're always being told that you were the runt, you weren't good enough. But that's not really what happened. Or is it? Can't quite put your finger on it. It goes forward again. You're doing a show with Count Majestic, or rather you're helping him get set up on the stage. But that's not what you did. You actually sang with him. He had you do a duet with him. And then the memory changes to that, and it's actually the way that it should be. And you're carrying on and remembering one of the greatest nights of your entire life, singing with him on a stage in Tel Noro. You remember the feeling of him telling you that he was going to leave. He was going to go off on some grand adventure and you wanted to go with him. And he told you that you weren't ready. But that isn't what he told you. Your memories are hazy, some of which are shown in the basin and others of which are distorted. And it's confusing. But everyone sees it, everyone who wants to look in the basin. And then you see yourself... What was the other thing I had? Then you see yourself going to a man in Rezzyr. You're traveling with the rest of your friends. A dead skeleton man who's walking beside you. That's not what Rezzyr looks like. Not completely. And then that image changes, and it's Rezzyr again. You grab a torch from a man on the side of the street, and the torch like floats out of your hand and kind of wavers off and hits the tree. You kind of cock your head to the side, and it lights up and begins catching buildings on fire. But that's not what I did. And then it changes. Your hand's still smoking from the fire that you cast towards the tree previously. So you get the idea that this isn't a perfect representation, whatever memories are shown here, but some things are true. And that's the last thing that you see in the basin for Black Star.
That was strange. I kind of liked it, but at the same time, it was off-putting. Who's next?
That was a very interesting arrangement of memories. Normally it's more detailed and doesn't change so frequently. Seems like you've had a troubled past. Extremely troubled.
Oh, don't worry. He's still having a troubled life.
No, there's no trouble.
Every now and again, I'm like, that has to be Felix. There's no way Louise is saying these things.
He comes here so he can be himself.
Throwing shade at everybody.
Mm-hmm. And Alex is Black Star is Alex, so it's
yeah.
Anyways, is there anyone else who wants to give it a go? I'm just getting one of you. Apparently, your name is Black Star. I don't think any of you really introduced yourselves, unless I missed that.
I'm Black
part.
Star Lazarus. This is my entourage.
I am Garen Stonefist.
That's the way he likes to describe us.
Well, that's what it is.
Depends on your perspective.
This is the boy prodigy, Xander. This is the boy prodigy's manservant, Louise.
He's my brother.
This is our robot butler, B2.
Hello.
Not our butler.
Doesn't know what butler means.
This is our resident beefcake, Garen.
Well.
Yeah.
And this, of course, is our wise elder, Rezzyr. I mean, I'm not fault.
Elder.
Wise.
Elder, yeah.
You do look as though you have a few years behind you, Rezzyr.
Yeah, we've got a few.
More so than most that I meet up with.
Tends to be the case these days. Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Ask away. I may or may not answer. We'll see.
Do you remember Dracana?
Do I remember Dracana? What is Dracana? Eric is forgetting.
It felt you were in character, and then like, nah, I can't do it in character. I have to check.
Might take you a little bit to find the information, so let me just.
Well, he's looking it up. B2's gonna lean towards Garen and go, "What is a butler?"
Let's open.
I'm not the right person to ask that. I'm sorry.
A servant. You.
What is a servant?
Somebody who serves someone.
Someone you tell what to do.
So like how Rezzyr serves someone.
I mean,
not
yeah.
not quite, but yeah. I mean, you serve Xander now, so that's
Yeah,
why
but
you're part of it.
butlers, it's mostly like daily stuff, like doing the laundries, stuff like that.
Oh, Eric finally found it.
Rezzyr finally remembered.
Do I remember Dracana? No.
Make a deception check.
I
No, that's the
knew
truth.
That's
No, that's the truth.
well, I guess the question was, do you remember? And so you're just saying that Rezzyr doesn't remember. Okay.
Well, no, no. I don't know what you have written down and where, but no.
Seems to be a little miscommunication here.
Play under review.
After.
Just so we're clear, B2, you're not a servant.
Oh, he's not a servant. He's a butler. That's different.
That sounds worse.
No,
Better to be a butler?
butlers are well respected.
Are they?
Yes, they're part of the family. What servants are like second-class citizens, but butlers.
That was the wrong question.
Oh,
My mistake.
okay.
That's the first question.
No, right. No. That was meant for something else. Right.
All right.
Sorry. So she was referring to the fact that you look like you've seen more years than some others that are here. Have you ever heard of a place called Havenbrook?
Notes back up. Am I familiar with a place named Havenbrook?
I said, have you ever heard of a
Why
place
do you-
called Havenbrook?
Yeah. Why?
I asked you a question. You respond with another.
Yeah.
He doesn't have
Yeah,
great
I
manners.
do.
It's just a place where I once had fond memories.
Really?
So I
Rezzyr,
thought
or-
perhaps that someone with your age might have known of it, heard of it. That's all. I'll just leave it at that, I suppose. Well,
Maybe we could revisit that later.
sure. Well, I can tell that you're all super ready to be cooperative with the things that I have to talk about here, and
I mean, I am.
we've delved into Blackstar's bit of past and present, and what are you really here for? Let's just get it out of the way. And she goes over and starts like making some tea and kind of fills the cabin with a nice aroma.
Who's got the ring?
The floating one?
Someone proposing?
No.
Yeah, absolutely. We're proposing a return of item. Who?
No,
Yeah,
the-
The
I
ring,
don't remember.
the ring
who
from
it was
the
handed to
bar,
specifically.
the ring from Melvin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who had it?
I know.
One of the
But he
four
said
of
he
us,
said the
I don't
floating
remember
ring.
who.
The floating ring is the cursed one that I have.
you know.
No, I'm at the floating, like floating off the
It
ground.
lets-
and
it lets you-
Oh.
and
around.
your curse ring doesn't let you float.
It's
I
kind of the
know.
opposite of that.
It is exactly the opposite. I feel like we probably would have had it in the hole.
One of us has
or one of us would have had it.
it. One of us has it. Whoever I don't
Yeah,
know.
because we got it from Melvin right before.
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah.
got it. I'm not worried about that.
All right,
Yeah, one
open
of
up
us
the
has it.
hole,
Whoever
Louise.
has it can pull it
Get the
out.
ring.
Right. Well, first order of business, like I said, we got something we're delivering on behalf of someone else. A ring of yours that was taken from you and
Hard to
has
say,
since
I
been
don't-
recovered.
I don't recall ever having
someone
lent
else
any
and-
rings.
Yeah, this is a return of something taken in the hope that it alleviates the curse that was left on him that fell in the tavern in town.
Oh,
Yeah.
Melvin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
He's been avoiding me for quite some time now.
Yeah, he
Ouch.
didn't have the ring. It was taken from him by someone else, and only recently got it back. So instead of waiting for you to come to town next, since we were coming out here anyway, he had us bring it for him.
It was adamant that we get it back to you as soon as we could.
And what does he owe you for bringing this back to me?
Oh, he's given us a few meals here and there, and
Yeah.
a couple nights stay at the place. That's about all.
So obviously this is a side quest, as it were.
Little on the head.
Yeah, we were already planning on coming out here and
We just
conversing a
figured we'd
bit. So
come with the ring, try and help our
yeah,
friend.
bring it on behalf of
Well,
him in the meantime.
Acquaintance.
Yeah, he did try and he drug one of us when we first showed up.
I mean,
by
it
choice.
was willingly, yeah.
Anyway, besides the point, we got your ring for you.
She begins handing out the various little teacups that look very well made, probably from Sayor, and kind of gives them out to whoever wants them. It smells like chamomile tea. Sits down in the rocking chair. There's not really, apart from the shelving that's there or the floor, there's 2 chairs next to a table and then the bed. So you guys can stand or sit, but she hands it all out to you and sits down in a rocking chair. Nerman jumps up on her lap. At this point, she kind of holds her hand out for the ring. And I'm assuming you
I'll
give it.
go in the
Whoever's
hole,
got it.
grab the ring, and while I'm down there with the abracadabras, yeah, that's the way you say it. Yes, I'll get us a few cookies for the tea.
Nice.
It's been quite a while since I've been able to enjoy something like this. What are they? Did you make them yourself?
No, we have this magical chest that lets us create a few non-magical items. Nothing too fancy though.
We've been using it for snacks here and there.
Yeah, mostly yeah. It's basically just a snack dispenser when we get tired of berries.
An adventuring party who has a chest they use for snacks along their way. That sounds quite delightful, actually.
Yeah, we're a ton of fun.
It's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, we kind of forgot about it yesterday.
Yeah, that would have been really
and
great.
just remembered it when we were walking.
Yeah, when I walked
I
up to
wasn't-
you and asked for
Sorry,
a berry.
I just wasn't
Just handed
all
me
there
the-
last night. Sorry.
We to clear up some things. Our friends Garen and B2 here are a little newer to our troop, but they're good folk and they seem to like traveling with us. So I say, why not?
I mean, they've noticed for, what, 2 days now? Don't speak too early about
they
them
seem-
liking
they-
traveling with us.
They seem to like. They're still here. They've had 2 days. We went back to the city. They could have stayed in the city. They had every opportunity to leave us, and they haven't yet. I think that's in any indication that they kind of like it with us.
Well,
I made a promise.
that's very nice. And these cookies are delicious. Really appreciate the effort you put into baking them. Or that the chest put into baking them. I really do enjoy a good adventuring party, and I wish that I could have been among one myself when I was younger, and I never really had the chance. I was mostly on my own. So, if you aren't willing to offer a simple drop of blood so I can learn about your many escapades, would you be willing to at least tell me of a few of them?
I mean,
Most certainly.
You know, older folk with who've been around for a long time, who have a bit of power and enjoy a good story every once in a while. Particularly those of adventuring and daring variety.
Yeah, of course. We've got a few tales we could tell you. Would you prefer to do that or conclude all our other business?
Straight to the point. That's
Well,
that's
it's
fine
up
with
to you.
me. She takes
I'll tell you.
I had
Yeah,
forgotten.
the question I was about to ask was, would you prefer it in musical form or in like grandiose form? 'Cause there's
I can do both. If
yeah, I was gonna say when
There's-
Black
there's-
Star plays, it's
there's
pretty
a bit
good.
of there's a bit of overlap, but
I'm not really partial to music.
It's fine. You don't need the tunes. I can just make it good. So, we met on a beautiful sunny day in the town of Rival. Our town besieged by the insidious Chainless. Chainless, you ask? Who are they? Only the most devious cult of underhanded criminals. I hope you're not aligned with them. That you might have ever met in your long life. Why are they so underhanded, you ask? They are trying to overthrow order and justice in the world in exchange for power, greed. Ugh, how can you stomach such a thing, you might wonder? We wonder the same thing. And so we united, me and my 3 companions here, the robot and the giant man later. And we decided that we would foil their nefarious schemes in the name of goodly righteousness and friendship. We set sail on a boat from River, fleeing an unknown criminal element out for my blood for no reason at all other than my good looks and charm. We
Checks
sailed
out.
across a river for days on end, battling monsters from the jungles and the forests around us. Every night was harrowing, battle after battle, eldritch blast, flung, flying everywhere. Rezzyr's heroics saved us in the end, and Xander's good thinking and quick wit. Without that, we would have been lost for sure. Louise, our main man, guided the way, and only one such as perceptive as he could do. Me, of course, I've been documenting everything. When we arrived in Sayor, we knew we had to thwart the next big step. The Red King himself came to us, and it was a battle for the ages. We felled him, but he was able to escape by the nick of time. Following that, we decided we had to go investigate this lab that people are so afraid of. It's been pumping Sayor full of drugs and Neanderthals and just dumbing the wit of the folk so they could permanently invade this town and make it their home. We heard that you were powerful. You had artifacts that could greatly aid us. So we made our way here at the behest of your daughter. From here we will go south, and we will triumph. Is that about it? Did I get it right?
we also fought a vampire that flew
Oh, that's
off in
right.
a spaceship.
That's
That
actually how we got the magic chest.
There's a slow clap in the corner of the room.
I don't know. Is that the Red King? I swear to God, it's better.
Fireball!
It is not. It is not the Red King.
The hag goes, well done.
No,
Rose
and
5 feet.
it is not coming from Salagastra. You turn and look to where the clapping is coming from, and it is an elderly gentleman with a slight hump on his back, a long white beard, and a walking stick leaned up against the shelving that's there. an individual who you've not seen in a few weeks,
Is it JJ?
who introduced
It's
himself
JJ!
as JJ.
Let's go!
Sits in the corner, leaning up against the shelving, and just clapping. I haven't heard a story like that in a few weeks now. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Who is this man? You seem very excited, Xander.
It's JJ.
I met him, right? He wasn't.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Yeah, you were.
The
yeah.
player, weren't there, but we met Black Star by then.
I think I got
Oh.
money from him.
We did a little rollback so you could
Oh.
meet him,
Wasn't
but he
there
wasn't
that
there
day.
during the actual session.
Alex,
Yeah.
Alex would have loved
Yeah.
JJ in that
Yeah.
entire interaction. I forgot about
As
that.
long as he's not like Guy Rezzyr.
No.
He's old. That's about it.
You've already met Garrison in this campaign.
This is Tom Bombadil.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, it's Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
JJ,
Yeah,
you
he's,
old scoundrel.
He's a fellow we met a few weeks back on the road, and had a nice little chat with him back then too.
I still
Really
haven't
nice.
used
Gave us
all
a
the
few
money
gifts.
you gave me.
For the description for the other two, this is a very old, wrinkly man, mostly balding head with the kind of the just tufts of white hair like coming out of his ears and also down to this giant long beard. And he's wearing like pretty raggedy clothing, like not one that you'd be out adventuring in a jungle with. And the walking stick that he has like a sack that looks like a giant handkerchief that's just got a bunch of stuff wrapped up inside of it and tied at the top of the walking stick, kind of leaned up against the side there. And he looks like he's hobbled over, like he's ready to fall at any moment. And he's just kind of old and got himself propped up against the shelf and trying to stop himself from falling over. That's what he looks like. And his voice kind of matches that image as well. Yeah, well, I was just coming to check up on Salagastra and see what was going on in this neck of the woods. And look, we've bumped into each other again. I thought I'd be looking for you forever. I was missing your stories. In fact, I looked for you the very next day, but I couldn't find you.
Yeah, I mean, we got out of town pretty quick. If you were going towards town, I mean, I don't really know where you went. You kind of just disappeared over a hill, and then you were gone.
I'm here, there, and everywhere.
I mean, you're here now.
Oh, it seems.
How did you get past all of the?
No, he's a
things
magic
that-
man.
Oh,
Is he now that I'm actually thinking about this kind of stuff? Is he like is he visibly human, an elf?
He's human. Yep.
Oh man, dude, I look at Rezzyr. The new gag is whenever we see an old person, you gotta look at Rezzyr.
Whenever we meet someone who's Tim's age
gonna-
or older.
I'll look at Xander and just be like
Hmm.
at the ear and
So, any other? That was Black Star. What a beautiful retelling of some of your escapades and what you've accomplished. You have two new people here. They must have their own stories.
Yeah, guys, this is JJ. JJ, this is Garen, and this is B2.
Treat him like your favorite grandfather, who's also your best friend.
What's a grandfather?
Right.
The person who made the person who made you.
Correct.
Yeah, that checks out.
'Cause, I mean, he's
But
a
I don't know who
warforged.
made me.
Well, just imagine that they were nice. and that
Wait,
this
since you seem to not know much about your past, what if you? Well, I was gonna say give some of your blood to the witch, but
he doesn't have blood.
yeah,
Maybe there's parts of you that's
got some
organic,
kind of
right?
Yeah.
Like
juices going on through you.
it's
right?
like your break fluid, maybe.
Well, is it
Fluid?
organic in like a out of game? Is it organic like in like a plant matter way, or organic like a human like flesh kind of way?
You're asking about B2?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do Warforges be in this
because
world.
everybody has a different retelling, but I know that like from the initial description we received of B2, there is organic portions of B2, but is it more plant matter based, or is it more like an amalgamation that you wouldn't want to watch be made, but it might be cool to look at later?
Or somewhere in between that.
Chris, have we had this conversation?
No, we have not. That's a great. This is something I will admit as my first time playing a Warforged. I didn't even think about, so I do apologize for my.
Some people definitely play Warforged differently than the original source books have them, of like the magic wood and metal combo thing going on.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. My world definitely, my vision for Warforged, which this is the first Warforged that was in this world, at least as a player character, definitely was a separation from like the tree wood construct, and definitely more leaning toward cyborg, for sure. Not like full cyborg, but in fact, it really leaned more towards almost like being full robot person. Is kind of how I was leaning more towards it.
So
That's
what
how
you're saying
I was
is
picturing it too.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not going to be able to make maple syrup with his blood.
Oh,
James, I was really looking forward to putting a.
If he was a tree.
Yeah, if he had.
Because we use maple sap to make maple syrup.
I was really looking forward to putting a tapper in his butt and just like
hang a bucket on it so we can collect the sap.
I gotta go.
Yeah, so I was envisioning like full on robot. If I don't know if that's Chris,
to
we
me,
can talk more about it later, but if you want to, go ahead.
I was gonna say, to me, there's nothing besides metal that's showing, even outside of his tarp, and I wasn't picturing. I guess definitely a conversation Tim and I will have more, but I wasn't picturing anything like that.
Yeah, it's just more of a logistics question.
No, it's a good question to bring up.
We're all like dripping our organic fluids into this bowl. So it's like B2 doesn't know anything about himself. Maybe he has a fluid, but as of right now, we're not too sure. So
also, I just want to point out, since we're talking about people, Garen's Stonefist AI picture doesn't have a nipple, and it's been bothering me ever since I noticed it. So.
This is why you
we're all switching to home. Oh my God.
Wow.
This is why you employ people.
No, Jason, he doesn't cover that one because he already lost it, but he covered the other one because he doesn't want to lose it. It's still there.
I saw it earlier. I was like, wow.
You can see too. There's like a little nub that's supposed to go right here. There's a distortion right in the center. Hold on.
Sorry. It's been killing me since we started.
Look at the distortion, like right in the center there. If you focus, you can see that there's supposed to be some kind of bump there.
I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that message from there because I don't want to see that. So.
Wow.
Fair.
Anyways.
Oh yes, JJ. Go ahead, Garen. I think you were saying something.
Unlike Black Star, I'm not very gifted in storytelling. So let's see here.
Best stories are an honest one, Garen. You don't have to make it grandiose. Just say from your heart.
Going after you, Black Star, is kind of
that's
a big step
and
down.
If you don't want to say anything, you don't have to.
I think you should, though. I think it'll help you clarify things for yourself.
We are here for you, Garen.
I'm gonna look at Salagastra. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're forgetting a week. Don't worry about it.
And I'm gonna If if I give you my blood, would it give me answers for? And I show her the glyph.
It may. It really will come down to whether or not you want the answers, how badly you
Well, I want
them.
the answers. And then yeah, the minute you said that, uh, I don't have a blade though, so I can't just dramatically.
That gives them.
Got your,
Give-
you
Yeah,
got your
we all
tough.
have that. We all pull out
Black-
blades.
Take your pick.
Flash their hands over the dagger.
Yeah, and I'll just cut real quickly, and I'll put it over the basin.
Can I get that dagger back though? We're done with it.
I might have held it a little too tight. Here you go.
Thanks. The grip's all wrong now.
Are you? And she says, as you're dripping it into the water, before she takes her wand and kind of swirls it over, are you primarily interested in this one thing and getting the answer to it? Or would you like to see the whole story? Because it's possible
This was
if we go with the whole story, we may not get the answer to what you're looking for.
I already poured my blood in there. I mean, this was supposed to be a compromise to make it kind of fun to watch, and compared to me just sharing a very uneloquent story. But I'll take the gamble and go with the whole story.
The way you hurt people is elegant.
It's where I've practiced the most.
Practice the most hurting people.
It's your art form. It's fine.
I'll pat Garen on the back as the basin kind of comes to life.
JJ, you might want to get closer. 'Cause I assume you have to look in to see the story.
Garen's holding a dagger. He's like, you should get closer. Scooch in a little bit, buddy.
What are you drinking?
Whiskey. Felix, that's you right there.
We can't. It's just blurred out.
Glare.
White. It's a glare. That's even worse. That's so much worse.
I mean, is it? It covers Jason's face. But is it really worth?
Oh,
Rebuttal, Jason.
French.
I thought you were gonna pull a Barney and say "Friendship Over" from How I Met Your Mother.
Nope, never watched it.
I mean, Barney could have just said you're Canadian as well.
Yeah. Oh, true.
The image clears in the basin. Garen, you've never seen yourself from a third-person perspective, and it's a little bit off-putting. You see a small child playing out in the sand outside of large sandstone steps that lead down from a massive city built into the sides of a cliff. Smattering of army individuals out fighting a giant sandworm probably a few miles off in the distance, and you can hear the clattering sounds as your parents didn't necessarily allow you to come out here and play amongst the sand, but you're being watched after. You've been out here before, as the blue, intrinsically linked stone elementals kind of make their way through the sands and keep an eye on you as you play, and you try to follow after them and trip over a rock and slide down some of the sand dunes further down into the valley, and you're picked up by an individual who you feel comfortable with, although at this moment you can't remember their name. It's interesting. You're carried back in through the city gates and placed into the arms of your parents. A later memory of sparring with some of these stone elements, of kind of doing the almost like karate moves back and forth, and you envision in your head that one of them is actually literally training you to know how to throw your punches and your kicks and how to grab someone and pin them to the ground, but that isn't actually what happened. And you know it isn't. But it's what you wished had happened. Later on, you attempted to pick up a sword, perhaps a mace at one point, or some other kind of weapon, and practiced with it for a while, but nothing quite fit the power of smashing your fists into the side of the school bully's face. We didn't really go to an official school, did you? But you did. It's all a blur. But your parents are proud of you, and that's all that matters. Continued on somewhat into adulthood before you decided you were going to start taking on more responsibility, and your parents allowed you to do so. And you worked your way towards developing relationships with certain individuals that would help you make some money so you could take on the Chainless, so that you could decide to go out and make your way in the world and maybe not even necessarily make a name for yourself, but show them what it means to be taken advantage of, or to put them where they really belong. A feeling of betrayal comes over you as you see a few individuals you remember from your past. The rest of the party, including, well, you don't know what JJ and Salagastra think, but the rest of your party don't know the names of these individuals, but you know who they are. As you go on your small little adventures or journeys as you're heading out into the countryside, a specific memory, one that you never seen before or don't remember, coming upon a caravan carrying giant metallic spheres that have little inset blue glowing lights on the sides of them, and having the feeling of knowing this is the Chainless and this is your opportunity to strike something that needs to be done. It needs to be, somebody needs to know about what's going on here in this particular instance, but it's not exactly what happened. But did this happen at all? Your vision of this flashes to these spheres opening up and becoming massive automatons, in the center of which Xander, Blackstar, Rezzyr, Louise. The center of this giant automaton, the center of its chest, a small sphere, one that you've seen Blackstar hold. As this giant automaton is fighting something other than just Garen out in the sands in the Genesis caldera, one of the massive fists comes down onto Garen, and a huge lightning bolt comes out of its arm and into Garen, and the basin goes dark. There was more that could have been told, but that's where the memories ended.
Why is it stopped?
I don't know. Looks like the magic didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. It's only basic at best, if I'm being honest with you. I'm sorry I couldn't give you the answer you were looking for. Do you recognize any of what you saw?
Yeah, I see a few faces, and that fight. I can't forget that fight. I was and I look at Xander. It's like, that's when I got this. I don't.
You don't remember.
I don't remember the giant. Yeah. I don't. I recognize. I was more like leaning into the fact that I recognize that instance. That, but yeah. But yeah, I didn't go down in that way. I don't. I was just fighting grunts and some magic users. I definitely lost the fight. Well, I don't remember it too well, but yeah, those fears didn't seem well. They seemed important enough to the chainless, but they didn't. I didn't think anything of them in the moment. I was just trying to defend myself and make sure I wasn't taken.
Salagastra, if you don't mind me asking, um, if the magic is basic at best, how is it making things that people don't necessarily recognize?
Well, it's designed to pull out the truth. If the bearer of the blood is willing to relieve themselves of the truth of their past and perhaps their future. Some people have such troubled pasts that they block certain memories and the magic can't really get past it. If we were to do something a little more complicated, I could force it to do what I wished it to do, but that's something I reserve for very important things and occasions, as I'm sure you can understand.
If I gave more blood, could it do it again and go further, or would it just be a repeat of what we just saw?
Probably would be a repeat of what you just saw. It is something that can only be done once per person per 24 hours, though. Or at least the next dawn, rather. I don't know if I really answered your question, Xander. You look perplexed and kind of upset and confused.
I mean, it's a confusing process because, like, the way that memory seemed, it seemed like there were very big versions of our friend B2 here. Like, that could be related, but if Garen doesn't remember that, like, I feel like that's an important part of his past, and if he doesn't remember that, then I'm just trying to logically break down, like, what the reason behind this magic could be that it's creating something there that isn't there.
Ooh.
And I'm
Yes, Black Star.
Nothing. I just wanted to interrupt. But...
I'm just trying to break that down. Is all. Just mentally.
Well, the thing is that it only creates things that aren't there if it's something that the user wishes had been there. Otherwise, it's true. Whether it's a latent memory that was lost at some point,
or suppressed.
That's the word I was going to use. Very good, Blackstar.
I read a lot of books.
So, are you saying there's a chance that what I saw is true?
Literally, what
I just don't know.
It's very possible. Yes. Very likely.
Yeah.
Aaron's getting very visibly
many
upset.
blows to the head.
That's a lot to break down.
By the way, these automatons, just to kind of put a little bit more perspective on it. I don't know if anybody's seen Pacific Rim.
Yo.
Okay.
Bigger.
That's what I was picturing.
So they're not quite that big. They're probably half the size.
Right.
But they're really big, super big. Yeah. Yep.
Giant.
Yep.
Not kaiju size, but about half kaiju size.
Like in relation to Garen, like could they hold me in their palm still, or
easily?
Okay, cool. They're huge.
That's two misfires. Xander, try it. See how it goes. If it keeps messing up on all of us, then I mean that's just clearly we're the problem.
No.
What?
Did I see any? Well, no, I was too focused on the actual thing. Never mind.
No.
It's terrible. All right, fine. Ma'am, is it all right if I go and sit in the corner and just play a little music? I know you don't like it, but it helps me relax, and they're stressing me out right
JJ doesn't wait for Salagastra to respond. And yes, I haven't heard a good tune played on a lute. You have a lute? And
now. I do.
quite some
Yeah.
time. It's been you didn't play for me the
Liar.
last time. That I'm not a liar.
No, I have a lie. You
Oh,
I don't have-
oh, good.
same but different. So
Have a liar, am a liar, not a liar. I just like music, so I'll just go sit over in the corner and enjoy. This is quite entertaining. The most entertaining thing I've seen in weeks since the last time I saw you, actually.
great. Well, I'm glad to entertain you. Then Blackstar will quietly sit in the corner and play music just loud enough to fill the room. And after a minute goes by, I'll do a enthralling performance.
Okay,
On
Just so you
Xander,
guys,
on Zan.
Louise, B2, Rezzyr, and JJ.
Okay.
So it's a wisdom save, right?
Wisdom saving throw.
Of what?
You biscuit.
Yes.
This is a this is a charm effect, correct?
Correct.
It does not seem to have any effect on JJ.
All right. I didn't think it would, but I had to choose a fifth person.
busy.
I don't think you need to.
Oh, I needed to. Oh my gosh, you guys are terrible.
You
All right,
didn't
well,
need to. You needed to.
I needed to. All right. Well, Rezzyr's charmed by.
I just start nodding with the music. Absent-mindedly.
Are you guys sure you don't want to just try it? Like, it would be good. I'd really enjoy it if you guys did it.
Look, I'm sure it would be great. But I'm not really comfortable right now with
Just
that.
have to blanket sometimes.
Xanta, you said you were a researcher of all fields. Is divination not something that interests you?
Oh, it very much is, and that's why it concerns me. Maybe for a later conversation?
Very well. A later conversation. Does
How
that
long
mean
are you
you'll be
guys-
staying here for a little while? Here to
Are
you're gonna be here for like it's just past breakfast. We had some cookies here. You're gonna be staying past lunch.
I mean, I don't know when we're intending on leaving. But respectfully, you and JJ are the oldest people I've seen outside of Rezzyr, and I don't see a lot of like there's not a lot of old people left, and there's a lot of knowledge that can come from elder folk, or so I've read. I've never really met
Older
one.
folk.
So I'm just trying to. I'd really like to have a conversation with you guys.
Well, I myself only have 87 years. She motions towards JJ, and JJ just kind of nods, giant smile on his face as Blackstar continues to play and like looks over at Rezzyr. Doesn't realize that Rezzyr is charmed and like nods along with him, like, yeah, the music is really good. He's definitely not charmed at all, but just happy to nod along and looks back towards Salagastra. Yes, you do have your 87 years, don't you? Just keeps nodding along with the music.
Oh, you're into it, JJ. I love it.
Starts like tapping his foot. Might be a little
Rezzyr,
too
how do you
old
feel?
for a jig.
Feel fine. Thanks for asking.
Oh, you love it. Why now? You can't be charmed. You're wasting this on you the whole time.
The sexual tension.
Wow. So
No, I am charmed.
Okay.
The charm did work. So that's him being charmed. It's like, oh yeah, thanks for asking. I'm feeling good,
dead.
buddy. Thanks.
Oh, I'm dying. That's hilarious. I love it. He's so much looser when he's charmed.
Yeah, like oh yeah. 'cause
I do
I
not
love
wish
space.
to stay here for too long while we have the Chainless running around in River.
Yeah, we do got some things to take care of, but part of our plan was to be here and do what we needed to do and have whatever conversations we needed to have. I don't know if we had.
Did we give her the ring yet?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Oh no, did
No, I thought
he
we
pulled
did.
it out?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
he pulled it out. Yeah,
we pulled it out. We didn't give it to her.
Well,
I
you-
thought we did. Sorry.
I thought.
I
Yeah,
got
you
it
handed
from
it
the
over. She
hole.
Put her.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
We had
the
her hand
keys.
out.
Yeah, with the biscuits, right? The tea.
So she takes it from you. We'll just say at this point, which is fine. This is, yes, I haven't seen this in a little while now, and I'll be happy to have it back. And I suppose he was expecting some kind of change in his current circumstance for having brought this back, even though he didn't personally deliver it himself. Is that what he told you?
100%.
I mean,
Yeah.
As far as he knew, that was how it was going to go. Get the ring back to you one way or another, and the curse can be lifted.
She takes her hand and kind of like flicks the ring up in the air, and it just disappears. She flicks it, just gone. You don't even see it anywhere. And then she takes her other hand and snaps her finger. There, it's done. See, I'm not as unpleasant as everyone makes me out to be. I think everyone thinks that I'm some hag out here. I've heard a few people throw that word around, and
People have said
Yeah.
anyone who does, I really don't mind incinerated person in my tea. It isn't something that I love, but I don't mind it. And so
I
do
love
you
it.
put them like in a tea bag, or is it just straight up?
no,
no-
just when you incinerate someone, there's actually less dust in a person than you might think when they're actually turned from organic matter into like a smaller
He's right.
bit.
She's-
Actually, we kind of have a pretty good idea. This fella right here is all about the fire.
For better or for worse.
It's always better.
That word hag just gets me off. It turns me off in a way that I just want to start killing people, honestly, and it's not really something I like doing, but a bit of a sprinkle in your tea. Anyways, you would never call me that, would you, Blackstar?
No, I'm gonna run PR for you. We're gonna call you the Sea Sorceress. Honestly, it has a brighter ring to it. Alliteration. Salagastra, the Sea Sorceress. That's 3 S's. That's definition of alliteration. Honestly, so
That is.
He
That would
he
work.
makes a real good point.
That would work great in a song too.
it will. Oh, I will compose a song about you.
I'm not really looking to draw attention to myself. It's not like I'm looking to put my name up in lights and draw people here to my location so that I can wow them with my
No.
fireworks, and it's
Of course not.
But you run that shop back in town though, so
Yeah.
like a little bit of public image. Would
The other
probably
word
do
hurts
some-
the
Oh.
branding.
so you're saying that I should change the name from the Brass Monkey to Salagastra's sultry. What was it you said
No.
exactly?
Well, it's,
No, no.
no,
Sea
sultry's not the
sorceries.
word.
Salagastra's Sea Sorceress. What's the word I'm looking for? Sundries.
C-
Salagastra's
But that's-
C-
Sea
But that's
Or
not a
Sorceress.
just-
tavern.
The SSS.
Salagastra's
let
sea
me.
sorceries.
What do you think about this one? What if we did Salagastra's seahorses?
It's workable. It's certainly.
I'm a
not-
fan. The other
I
one had
like-
way too many
Sea
syllables.
sorceries.
This is
Sultry
just a
sea
fun conversation.
sorceries.
Ooh, sultry sea sorceress.
What did you
That
say,
sounds a
Chris?
bit-
I said this is just like a funny conversation. Like, I just
Talking
We're
to the
here.
other
We're
one.
here on business, and we want to help you
Well,
expand.
Chris,
We're
I'm
a
sorry.
marketing firm pitching our
yeah, like exactly.
our services.
I feel like we're a bunch of comedy writers just trying to like pitch a scene.
Yeah. We're just workshopping. It's great.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel about it, Chris, but this is a lot
How
of times
it goes.
what our games devolve into. So it's
No,
just,
I love it. This is great.
Okay.
Having fun
Okay.
playing D&D.
Uh-huh. Anyways, right. Yeah, we'll talk more about it, and I'll converse with Moira and see what she thinks. She's really the one running the shop. I'm also just the one making the things that we sell in the shop.
Things.
And
That's fair. No, you're certainly not that other word. We talked about this. Definitely not. People I think have it misconstrued. On a different.
We did talk about that. How it was interesting. How some people mentioned it as like sea witch, some people said hag, and we were like, that doesn't sound like nice to call people like that. So
No, not at all.
It's a
make
dirty
sure
word.
not to do that.
It's deadly,
Some people deserve it, to be sure, but
and they deserve to be incinerated. Most people
not
deserve
till not till
incineration.
after you get to know them a bit.
Oh.
You call someone like that.
And then it's as a joke, like you know how women they tend to refer to each other as hoe bags. It's,
What?
Xander, I know you don't
That's a
spend a lot of time
Noro
with
thing.
women, but like they get real comfortable. It's
Well,
strange.
I personally, I've heard some things referred to, or some people refer to as gold sucking holes.
Yes,
that's,
exactly. Yes, just like that. Salagastra, you scoundrel! I love it.
Anyways,
About something else. Nethera. Nethara. How do I say it? Nethara.
You
Nethavel.
wrote her
Nethavel,
name
I'm
down.
sorry. Nethavel. I have it written down right here. I just had to look at it. I have my Zoom open,
Nethavel.
so I'm not looking at my notes. Thank you. And Nethavel.
Oh, that one.
What? I just have to ask, what happened there? Like, I'm intrigued.
The short of it,
Sure.
she called me a hag.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going in her notes for sure. She does not like being called a hag.
I mean,
Of course,
she
Garen
said
is saying that out loud as he's writing it in his journal.
What? Is there anything I can do for you to reverse this curse that you've placed on her? Like a quid pro quo. I help you with this thing, and then you take pity on her, and then I'll speak to her about never using that word and your name in the same sentence again.
Unless it's to say you're not a hag.
Yes, you're not that thing. The H word. We don't say it here.
Oh?
We're digging such a deep hole, guys. Like,
I only know how to dig.
That's our specialty.
That's what I
Open mouth syndrome.
open mouth syndrome. Well, I would consider removing the curse if she came out here and personally apologized to me. As she mentioned it, she used that word in conjunction with me in a public setting.
Oh.
I wouldn't ask her to apologize in a public way because it's more fun to have her come all the way out here to apologize.
That's fair. I'll speak with her then, because I feel like that's just an injustice for you to have to have suffered that, and she really should apologize. Anyway, I like this idea. I will talk to her. Just a bit of good faith, just you've been lovely, honestly, and I've really enjoyed this time. I liked the basin thing; it was nice. Garen, I think, got some clarification in a confusing manner, and I just
That's
got
a weird sentence. He got clarifying information confusingly.
In a confusing manner.
I know some of them are wet blankets, and but like.
You mentioned in good faith. I don't believe there is any good faith left out there. I don't think anyone has any good faith. Or that any faith is good.
I agree. I say it, but it's like a phrase. I'm doing it for personal benefit, honestly, but
I thought perhaps you were referring to some kind of deity, like you subscribe to that whole thing.
No, absolutely not.
I don't know a whole lot of people who feel that whether they're real or not, that they're good in any way. In fact, perhaps they've never done anything good ever. And she glares over at JJ just like immediately, kind of a slight smirk on her face, and JJ just like looking down into the basin this entire time, even though the show has ended a long time ago, and like looks up. Who? What? Oh,
he's playing dumb.
That man fell asleep.
Right.
Maybe your
You're
music
looking-
wasn't as good as you thought, Blackstar.
That
Oh, I
old
forgot he
man
was
now.
singing. He was singing along, or he was nodding. Right? Yeah, it's true. But then he went back to like looking into the basin, kind of like perks back up and looks over at her and just gives her a small smirk. That's to each their own. I don't know why you're looking at me. And then she just kind of goes back to talking to you, the rest of you.
Mm-hmm.
No deities.
They're just completely useless. Couldn't have helped
That's
us
what I've heard.
before, and couldn't help us now. You mentioned good faith, so that's the only reason I brought it up and said anything about it at all. But
That's fair. That's a fair reason. But yeah, I'll talk to her. It's fun for me to get involved.
good. Well, I look forward to seeing her if she makes it out here on her own. Was there something else?
Yeah, there was one other piece of business to be handled. Kind of the main reason that formed this here visit, this trip out here. There's an item being sold in your shop in town, and it's intended on a specific recipient, and
Oh man.
very much like to alter that arrangement. I know you usually make sure to stick to the agreements and deals you make, but your daughter did say that if there was to be a change, it would have to come from you. So here we are. Wanted to talk about that because not only would I like to get my hands on it,
In it?
seeing as how
Or
yeah,
gloves?
it depends on what kind of bracers you put on. So personally, I would like it, but also just not a fan of the person it's heading to, and would, if nothing else, like to prevent them from getting it. Bit of spite driving it, if nothing else, but also a desire for myself.
Well, I would know more of... I was going to ask you what the item was, but if you tell me who it's destined for, I know that more clearly than I know the actual item. Could have been something I made ages ago. I'm not sure.
It's a pair of bracers that help with your magic, intended for Vito Zenobia.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, and then I said the stuff about the chainless, and now I realize you're selling that to him, and so I think put my foot in my mouth a bit back then.
I mean, she's a merchant.
That's fair. Yeah, equal opportunity.
Yeah.
But I'm Louise. I am not just a merchant. I have my own opinions, stock and things. The world has to end somehow.
She bought stock.
World has to end somehow.
Yeah, right. That
I'll give you my opinion on the Chainless if you wish for it, but to answer your question, I don't make deals lightly. And there was something sacrificed for those braces. And if you wish to have them go somewhere else, that's quite a deal I'd have to break. Some kind of recompense would have to be made, something significant. I don't just give things away for free, except for this tea.
No, obviously not, and much
I
obliged.
mean, we
for
love
that.
the cheese, May. Honestly,
Is
Although
there
you
an
have given me your
incinerated
word.
person?
So that is something. What was that, Xander?
Is there incinerated person in tea?
Do you like the tea?
I love it.
Yes.
Do you wish there to be incinerated person in the tea?
Is there already incinerated person in the tea?
Guess that.
I would like it if there's not.
Well, then there isn't.
I mean,
Oh, the answer
Inside
was
check.
dependent. The answer was dependent.
Xander technically might not be burned, but there's most likely dead person in every type of tea you drink, because that's what, well, not only dead people but dead beings as a whole are used to help plant growth.
It's kind of hard to read,
You must have
Blackstar.
met. You must have met an interesting cleric.
Some kind of furbolg, maybe.
Yeah, that's funny. So, on the note of the point of your braces that you're interested in, like I said, I deal in the kind of giving, maybe not of yourself, but of something important to you. Money is important to some extent, as I use it for other things. Obviously, I live out in a jungle, and I don't have like people to pay for living here and whatnot. I've got Eighth. He doesn't require any money for upkeep. And myself.
Yeah.
So
well, obviously that's the case. We were thinking perhaps maybe if there was some sort of bartering you'd be interested in, and we got quite a few interesting knickknacks here and there that we've picked up along our travels. Or honestly, it's kind of important to me. So like, if you need something done, favors, some work done,
Pieces of a
be willing
soul.
be willing to.
Basic
pieces
stuff.
of a soul.
I mean, he's offering.
You're offering your soul, or you have a piece of someone's soul you're offering.
No and no. Not offering. That's a bit
Maybe
more
a-
important.
Maybe you're not getting my
the-
point,
the-
Rezzyr. I'm not looking for a trade. I don't want your items. I make powerful items. I don't need
Yeah,
the trash that
Well,
washed up.
it was. I
someone
mean,
else.
we've got some nifty things, but no, of course not. Yeah.
What would it take?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're at here. This was the point of discussion that we're here for? So
You came all the way
I-
here
I'm
because
not
you want
sure
these
what
braces.
yeah, and to make sure that the intended individual does not get them.
Why do you have such a chip on your shoulder about Vito Zenobia? Or is it just because he's a member of the Chainless?
What's your take on the Chainless? I'd like to know your opinion about it.
Bit of both, personal interest and the fact that he's worked for the Chainless.
Right. Well, Blackstar, my opinion of the Chainless is that they have the right idea. I don't think that they're going about it the right way, but their ultimate goal is something that everyone in this world should be striving for. I think that eventually those who are more intelligent will come to that conclusion as well. And I'm just going to sit here and enjoy myself out in the jungle and hope that I'm one of the last ones to go down with the ship, as they say, so I can laugh at everyone else who came before me, because that's all they've ever done to me. But the Chainless themselves, they're terrible. They're awful. And you can kill all of them as far as I'm concerned. But what they're trying to do, it's valiant. Ultimately, their ultimate goal.
And what is it they're doing in your eyes?
Well, they're trying to protect the world from the Titan attacks. Ultimately, they're trying to stop the Titans from accomplishing their true purpose. And that is the thing that I feel is, important.
True purpose, objective, and so like, can't you? Since nobody's ever really communicated with a Titan, isn't that a debatable conversation? As in what their true purpose is? I mean, sure, they cause a lot of destruction, but we don't know what the next Titan might be like.
He could be nice.
She kind
And
of...
not to say that they could be nice, but they're when things are birthed, there could be different intentions in each. We don't know where the Titans come from exactly, so there could be new intentions.
She kind of...
It'd be like a Mothra instead of a Ghidorah sort of thing, honestly.
She smiles and looks over towards JJ, who has been intently this point, listening in on this portion of the conversation. And JJ just kind of squints a little bit and looks towards Xander and chuckles. Xander, I understand your insistence on objectively thinking about things, but not everything is up for debate when you know what the truth is. Yes, it is true that, Salagastra continues his thought, it is true that there are those who speculate, but for those of us who've lived through most of the original calamities and understand what the true nature of things are, like the Red King, it kind of leads you to believe a certain, or to feel a certain way about things, because at the end of the day, we actually were there, we experienced it, whereas no one else was. So, yes, the Red King and his childish, prideful antics. Should he be the ruler of such a powerful organization? Probably not. But he does have good in his heart. I saw it long ago. But
that's a bit of a morsel to chew on. Look, Xander, not everyone's evil. You were kind of right.
Well, the Red King is doing evil things.
Right, but for the right reasons.
I believe so.
I never debated that the intentions aren't good. I mean, ideally, everybody wants to stop a Titan attack. Nobody wants an impending extinction of the world as we know it. That's not something anybody's asking for. But, I mean, he goes about it the wrong way, and that's just what it boils down to.
Well, I mean, to paraphrase a great artist I know, we didn't start the fire. It was already burning since the world's been turning, so...
Yeah, and unfortunately it with each generation it comes to bear as their responsibility to try and put it out. But each time we either fail or succeed by the skin of our teeth, and there needs to be a better way of success, but I don't think that this is the way of going about it.
Gen Z certainly not going to do anything about it. So.
Wow.
Can't even buy ourselves houses.
Here's the thing. Here's the one piece of information that I think that probably hasn't been shared with you. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because JG seems to put a lot of emphasis on you being a group that's going to do good things in this world. And I haven't seen that yet myself, but I did want to see you for myself, and that's why I invited you here. So this piece of information is for you to take with you and do with what you may. The Red King believes that the fog in Anchor's Folly has been lifted. The thing that prevents anyone from traversing it, the thing that kills anyone when they enter it, or most people and things. It's been traversed by a few lucky individuals, myself included, over the past century or so. Once or twice. But it's nigh impossible, or had been until recently. The truth lies with the Anchor. He intends on fighting his way there. That's why he's trying to build an army, whether it be through superhumans or some other form of army. I think his entire goal is to build an army, to storm Anchor's Folly and take what he believes is rightfully his.
Where's Anchor's Folly?
Central area of the
asking
map.
that as Alex?
No, as Blackstar.
It's that valley past the Turnback Towers to the east of, well, everything
Yeah.
Oh.
that you've probably heard of.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while, but now that you say it, but
Been a while.
I mean, look at this photograph of a map. Every time I do,
Every time I do it makes me laugh. Is that what you said?
yeah. Well,
Well, so getting back to your actual question, Rezzyr, I do have something that I could have you do that perhaps would be enough, but
Yeah, like I said, chainless or not, I got a personal vendetta against this fellow, and well, I said we'd talk about it later, but it's because of what he did in Havenbrook.
Tim's face was so
And-
good.
You're gonna make
Break.
and that is where we're going to take our break. So, you had just asked, or you had just mentioned. I don't know if you want to reiterate your sentence.
It was I got personal vendetta against him because of what he did in Havenbrook.
Oh. I was only there for a time. I don't seem to recall that he was doing something there. I can't quite put my finger on it, but sounds to me like he did something you're not quite happy with. Care to expound?
Putting it mildly. He didn't do what he was supposed to. And people had to pay for that.
So, you knew him personally?
Not quite. Not. Not really.
So, he did something he wasn't supposed to, and some people paid
Or what
the
he didn't do.
Or what he didn't do. And some people paid the consequences.
I'm more interested, actually, in how you know about that place.
Oh, are you? Well, I stopped in to seek refuge on my trip from the eastern side of the continent to try and find a safe haven, really. Havenbrook wasn't... I have fond memories of being there because I was there for a short time, and there was a healer who was helpful and fixed up some of my scrapes and seemed to be the most honest person I had ever encountered. Someone who actually I felt like I could trust. Apart from that, I didn't really meet a whole lot of those who were there. I was only there for a few weeks. But it was one of the...
Havenbrook wasn't there for much longer than that itself.
Well, we all make mistakes. I'm interested to know what it is about. Now, the reason I'm kind of hopping on this a bit more is that you kind of, the way you've described it, it seems as though he made a mistake, and others suffered the consequence. Can you say that you haven't done something similar ever in your past?
Not like that.
Sounds personal. Anyways.
Yeah.
I was not very old when I traveled through there. Or I wasn't as old as I am now, at least.
Makes
So
sense.
more fit for travel and hadn't met up with most of the friends that I now know, like Eighth here. Well, to be honest with you, that's not quite enough information for me to go on to simply deny giving him something that he's already paid for. He did something wrong, people got hurt, you're not happy about it. I'm sorry for you.
More people more than got hurt. He's the reason Havenbrook ain't around no more.
Oh. He's the reason Havenbrook isn't around anymore. I thought it was simply because it was out in Anchor's Folly.
It was doing all right. And then he did what he did or didn't do.
I mean, I don't really know anything about the situation, but for what it's worth, it does, from what we understand, it does seem like Anchor's Folly is still a populated location. People still live there.
I highly doubt that's the case.
I mean, at least one person lives there still.
You know someone who lives in Anchor's Folly?
From what we've deduced, I think so.
Who? Pray tell.
Jupiter Keepdown?
Jupiter Keeptown.
No, he's past Anchor's Folly.
Well, yeah, but isn't that whole portion of it, like the whole other side I thought was Anchor's Folly?
Well, you haven't seen the map, so you...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about it, so...
In the description, it does say that Anchor's Folly is the central valley of the continent.
Yeah, well, still, I wouldn't know. I mean, I wouldn't know where the places are necessarily,
right.
So...
How have you come across the name Jupiter Keepdown? That's a name I haven't heard in quite a long time.
Well, we've done our work on the Chainless, and it seems like he's one of 5 individuals who survived initial, I guess, super soldier testing.
Yes. Well, that's one way of putting it. Yes. I've never actually met... Well, I can't really say that. I guess technically I've met him once, but... yeah, that's interesting. I don't think he resides in Anchor's Folly. I don't think anyone or anything that is of this world or alive is in Anchor's Folly. At least not until recently, when the discovery of the release of the toxic gases and fogs within Anchor's Folly seem to have dispersed. So perhaps there are things there now, but there haven't been for 100 years. Give or take. Rezzyr, I'm afraid that your information isn't suitable. It seemed like you were in the middle of saying something about what Vito did, and that it wasn't good.
He was responsible for guarding this place, and he did just the opposite.
I do remember there being like a watchtower or something, and some parapets and a couple of guards walking along them, and they were responsible for watching out. Was that what his job was?
Yeah.
Well, and so you're saying that because he was a god and he shirked his responsibility or didn't follow through or didn't catch something. Oh, okay. So he intentionally didn't god.
Yeah.
And that should warrant him.
He left the he opened the gates for them things to come in.
Oh.
Before he took off.
Seems like you know a lot more about this. Did you live there?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry for whatever it is that you lost. Did you... There's something about this that should pull on my heartstrings. I'm trying to get more information out of you, Rezzyr. I'm not trying to be cold about it. You are giving me some information as to why this Vito is a bad individual. And I understand. What makes you better than him?
Doesn't need to shave as often.
Well, I ain't the cause of whole towns and families dying. So that's a start.
I don't know how Jason and Felix and Alex aren't losing their minds right now. Over this conversation.
I'm taking it
Crying-
Because I'm still,
Yeah.
I'm still being vague.
Yeah, like,
I'm assuming he was there for it all, and that he knows this guy personally,
Yeah.
and probably
Trying-
caught, like what happened to him. But
Yeah.
I'm also just drinking it all in right now.
Yeah, trying not to interrupt to get more, a bit more.
The fact that Black Star's not chiming in means I'm listening.
That's true. I didn't think
Good
about
point.
that.
That's a good point.
I didn't think about that. That's good. It seems like it's more of a personal... I'm getting such a vibe from you, Rezzyr. Like there's something more. Like you have
told
an
you it was
investment.
personal.
It is personal. You mentioned that people died. People that you know? Do you-
Families, yeah.
Right. So Vito Zenobia is a family killer. By proxy. And what was the reason why he did that?
I ain't sure. But I don't rightly care.
So, by giving him these braces, it would cause him to be more powerful and more difficult for you to deal with. Is that your intention?
Baseline, yeah. But I have been looking for those kind of things for a while for myself anyway. Two birds with one stone kind of thing.
So, make the money that I have already been paid. Give the item to the individual that you hate, that killed families decades ago and betrayed his kind, and not make waves with the Red King, or give you the braces, deny him the power that he paid for, in all honesty and right, with real money. Are you offering me money, Rezzyr?
We came here to talk and figure this out. Whatever
I
you
already
feel.
told you that, this was a commission. He requested these, and I made them. At his request.
Yeah.
I even engraved V on the braces. Are you going to be happy with that?
Wouldn't
I'm sure if you
bother me.
squint and look at it at an angle, it could be an R.
I didn't hear what you
Or
said.
unfinished A.
Or yeah.
I didn't hear what you said, Eric.
Or it could be changed.
I could do that. Well, I'm a person who likes adventure. I'm a person who likes to be kind of in the middle of things. You'd think that it'd be the opposite with me living out here in the jungle and trying to stay away from civilization, but it's more because I like to be with Aeth, and I can't bring Aeth to Seor. That's really the main reason why I'm way out here in the jungle. I'm not actually that far away. It's only a day's travel. Shorter for me anyways. What I'm trying to get at is I'm not opposed to this. But I may have to deal with the wrath of Vito Zenobia himself or the Red King. It'll have to be drawn off as something else that happened, something that was out of my control. And very few things are, so it may take a bit of finagling to get it to that point. I don't intend on making enemies with the Chainless. They've been very good business partners of mine for quite some time now. So, I'm not going to give this to you for free. You haven't really offered anything to me. You did say you're here to have this conversation, so I'll hear your offer before I tell you what my idea is.
I mean, we got, like I said, we got some fancy magic things, trinkets, some potions, and whatnot. Got the offer to do something for you. It's really what you want for it.
All right. As I told you, the monetary gain is, unless you were offering like triple what they were offering, it's not really the thing I care about. In fact, I've already received payment, which I could either simply give back or just deal with it later. But there is something. I have another friend besides Aeth here in the jungle. His name is Bereave. He traveled with me across the countryside after I had left Epoch's Chain and headed west. He's a snow yeti. He's a very good friend of mine, and I've given him a longer life than he rightly deserves, because we've become good friends. A few weeks ago, he had a little bit too much to drink, and, well, for lack of a better way of putting it, fell on a weapon I was working on. Another commission. Got it stuck on his back. It's turned him into somewhat of a wild creature, and I haven't spoken to him in a few weeks now, which is saddening for Aeth and I. And I'd like to get it back. Him back. And it. It's kind of a piece I'd been working on for quite a long time. At least a decade. It's his residence, if you will, is only a little further north from here, about an hour. And I don't know whether or not he's there, if he's been gallivanting around the jungle, but it would mean a lot to me to have my friend back. And the means with which to get him back is not, or it is not within my means to simply snap him out of it, as it is the weapon that he's impaled himself with that is causing him to be acting in the way that he is. Seems also to have amplified whatever it was he was able to do before. So, it isn't a matter of magics and changing of the direction of magics. It's more of a strength thing of either getting him to calm down enough to pull the blade from his back, or to hold him down and pull it free. But being as large as he is, you may find that a troubling endeavor. But
Well, we just picked up some muscle, and I glance at Garen B2.
How big are we talking?
And,
oh, he's probably 20, 25 feet tall.
Mm.
I'd like to
Pretty big.
have large friends. She kind of like gestures outside to the giant tree that she was talking to.
But look, that's not quite what I was expecting. I mean, we do as a group generally help people, so that is not outside of our wheelhouse. I don't think anybody's going to object to trying to help a fella out, both on your behalf and on theirs.
He really is a good individual, and else I wouldn't have kept him around. He's a little bit rough around the edges, or at least he was. Now he's just wild, but it's worth it. And like I said, I don't give things away for free. And I don't really want
Of course
your
not.
trinkets. I don't really want the money, unless it was a very large sum of money. The items that I like are ones that I've created, and that's what I do. And I've already said that before, so I'll leave that alone for now. But this one endeavor is something that I think would be worth parting with this item and dealing with the fallout and the consequences.
Well, all right. It sounds like our conversation has borne fruit. That's why we came here, and looks like it worked out. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's the official business out of the way.
So then all the business is out of the way.
Yeah. It's just a matter of anything else we wanted to talk about, or the boy wanted to learn or ask questions about and whatnot. I need to step outside for a moment. Jay, good seeing you.
Of course. Well, I'll be here later for lunch and for dinner if you will be. That was quite the story. Quite the story.
I ain't sure. Up to them. Let's step outside.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to our other business, before we got into all of what Rezzyr had, we're talking maybe about having our friend over here, B2, maybe see a bit of his past with your magical bowl, I guess you'd call it. Since he doesn't seem to know much about his past.
Doesn't seem to know much of anything. Honestly.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No offense.
None taken.
I'm so glad.
Well, I don't know whether or not this works for something like you, B2. I don't know whether or not you have blood to give or some other life liquid that you could produce or excrete to offer to this. It's worth a try, I suppose. But I don't know whether or not you have memories in the same way that all the rest of us do. I guess that remains to be seen.
Do it, B2. Do it.
Yeah, B2 will walk up and just kind of grab a dagger and he stabs his metal hand, thinking something's going to happen.
Okay.
And I feel like he just chips the dagger.
What?
Okay. I'm going to leave that up to you as to whether or not anything comes out of your hand or not.
No, I mean how I imagine it, it's not.
So it's what I said,
not
right?
there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's I don't know. Is it painful?
into the oil, maybe?
You just shove it into your hand and just kind of like pull it out. Makes almost a similar sound to a sword going into a sheath. You know, being pulled back out, and
Yes.
nothing.
I don't know if I have the same materials that give everyone else life here. I don't
Put your hand in the bowl.
know if I'm even really alive. I do not understand.
But if he puts his hand in the bowl, we wouldn't be able to see it in the bowl.
Oh, that's fair. Put your finger in the bowl.
I mean,
Put
I
you in
have
the bowl.
Your pinky.
I have the tools if we want to try something different, but I don't really
Are you
know
gonna
enough.
try and pry his head open?
I
Make
don't.
a
I don't.
screw out.
I don't really know enough about that.
I did say that I gave you permission to do that.
For science, Xander. For
is that-
science.
Is the time like right now? Like, is that? Do you want to give it a shot right now?
Takes a moment. I wish to know more about myself, but I do not wish to jeopardize what I'm experiencing now. I don't know much, but I do know I wish to be alive. So if you are not comfortable with it and you think it would be a risk, then we should not do it.
I mean, we can do what you said and just start with the finger.
He hands you his hand. I hand you my hand.
Do you want me to guidance you, maybe?
You sure could, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I guess I'll give this a go.
So you're using
Basically,
what
I'm
tools?
trying to use my tinkerer's tools to try and like undo whatever is on his finger to try and get maybe like some oil or like any kind of fluid that might be in there.
Unscrew his pinky.
Like try and unscrew stuff and try and just get like fluid out from it, just to drop and then like put everything back together.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make a intelligence check. Are you?
Flex.
Yeah. You're not proficient.
Oof. So
Blackstar's gonna
D4.
play a little song as he's doing it. Go grease lightning, you're burning down a corridor. Grease lightning, grease lightning. Bardic inspiration.
Okay, so it's at a D6.
Yeah.
18 total.
Oh,
Nice. That's a good bardic.
Okay.
Yeah.
we've got a good bard.
Sometimes.
You realize within a very short period of time that this is a much more advanced piece of machinery than you have ever seen or dealt with before. And while you are able to understand the very beginnings of how to open up the finger, and you do open it up, there is a slight snapping sound as you accidentally pried something a little bit too far in one direction. But when you open it up, on the inside, there is like a little cable of some kind. And it's not a... well, you don't know what a cable is.
I know, that's why.
It's like a little piece of metal rope that's
Wire.
on the inside that seems
No,
to
because
be...
in the message spell and the components, they use the term copper wire, so he know what a wire is.
Okay. So, it's a wire. You can't identify the metal. It's not something you've seen before, has a different coloration to it. And there is some arcane energy that's running through it, but there isn't anything that would exude a liquid.
Okay, so, we have two choices here. I could put it all back. We could act like, I never touched it. I feel pretty good about that. Or you can dip your finger in the bowl as it is, but I'm not sure what would happen if you touch an open wire to this. I look over towards Salagastra. Is the liquid inherently magical, or is it just water?
It's water. The magic is here. She holds up her wand.
Right.
The magic is inside you.
So
The magic was inside you all along.
I imagine dipping your finger in there may or may not be the best idea. I'm really not sure.
The water is acting as the catalyst. What's put into it is the driving force, and then simply the wand is activating all of it, really.
Yeah, but like, does it need to be like blood, or could we put like a strand of hair in there? It would work.
It's having to do with a bodily piece of something. Yes, a hair would function.
Do it, B2.
So,
Science.
do you have a screw that you don't like or not attached to?
He's got a
he's
couple right
attached to
here
it,
that were taken off.
or it's attached
Yeah,
to him.
yeah,
I think he's got a few screws loose.
Jeez.
B2's gonna look around the room, and I think he sees that like Black Star's kind of cheering him on, and he'll look at Xavier.
Make your
and
dreams come true.
he'll put his non-operated hand down on his shoulder. Yeah, thank you, and he will walk forward and stick his pinky in the water.
He meant Xander.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
He said Xavier. It's fine.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
My
it's all right.
apologies.
So you put
One of
your
my players is Xavier.
The actual player's name is Xavier, or the character?
No, like his character. So
Oh, I could see how that could be confusing. Yeah. For sure. Stick your pinky into the water, and Salagastra kind of comes up and kind of looks at it. I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but I'm very interested to find out. And she kind of like looks back over her shoulder over at JJ, who's just kind of like still leaning up against the thing and eating a couple of the cookies that Louise had put out on the plate. Just kind of sitting
How
there.
many cookies were
He's
there?
As many as we want there to be. They're D&D cookies. Nobody cares.
If we run out, we just get more. We have 20
Exactly.
uses a day.
Exactly. Eating a couple cookies, kind of looks over. A couple crumbs fall down into the beard and just kind of like brushes them out of the way. Oh, that's a very interesting way of going about doing that. Yeah, I don't know if that'll work. I'm pretty sure it won't.
I mean, there's one way to find out.
Well, that's true. That's true. I hope it doesn't
And
have any
think-
negative consequences.
Think of the stories you might discover if it works.
Right. Oh, that's true. And he like comes over and like gets right next to B2, like to look over in the basin, kind of waiting. And then like Salagastra's still a little hesitant, and he just kind of like shoos at her, like hurry up and get on with it. All right. And she kind of moves her wand over it, and the water kind of shimmers a little bit, and then finally solidifies on the top. B2, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Yes, sir.
Is it against the poison?
It is not.
Something different.
Oh man, that dice is so sick.
16.
Yeah.
Okay. There is an immense amount of what you would perceive to be as pain that just racks up your entire arm and shoots up your shoulder, up your neck, and up into your head. Your entire head convulses involuntarily and like cocks to the side a little bit, and you are stuck in that position for the time being. There is nothing that solidifies or shows up in the basin at all, and B2's pinky is just stuck in the basin, his head cocked to the side, staring forward, his eyes don't open,
Oh
it's
my
just the
god.
lights.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna,
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna
I'm
take
so
him.
sorry.
I'm gonna
so
grab
sorry.
him and move him out of the basin.
Yeah, I'll
Are you gonna help me?
immediately- Yeah, I'll be helping.
I get advantage
mean,
on a strength check now, right?
I mean, before you move, yeah, from Zender you get disadvantage. I mean, before you move him out, I might be able to, if he's like still functioning, because as I said before, I haven't really used magic on beings like him, but I'll just try something and I'll cast Lesser Restoration on him,
Okay, you cast.
which says it ends the blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned condition.
Okay. I guess it's technically you're paralyzed, but the thing is that you're not currently there. So
He goes limp.
he goes limp. So sure. So yeah. So Garen, you go over and you grab onto him and kind of like or it was before you pull him away, you wanted to cast lesser restoration.
Before
right?
you drag him
Yeah,
out,
before he-
Gotcha.
like I did.
Okay, so you like, run over, you grab onto him, you get ready. Louise casts lesser restoration, and B2 just like head just falls to the side. As his hand comes out of the bowl, there is this like purple energy that like tethers itself to the surface of the water, and then as he's pulled away, it like spider webs out onto the surface of the water and all
Is
around
he
it.
Tesla coiling?
Before you find like he like falls down and the hand gets pulled further than like a foot away, and the electricity or the arcane energy disappears from that.
I think that's half the issue, but I'm not sure.
In those moments, I wanted to play out what was happening outside of what was going on inside B2's head before doing it, because then it was more it's more real, and then we can come back to it. Let me just find the right thing here real quick.
While this is happening, Blackstar just kind of wanders outside.
Okay.
Come on, tell the truth. Blackstar tried to put the arcane battery in B2.
So
supercharged
Thi-
too. Huh.
Yeah.
this happened before the conversation with
It's
Rezzyr?
in his head. No.
It's after. Okay,
After, yeah.
gotcha.
What's about to happen?
No, the beat. This whole us putting his finger in. I thought
Yeah.
I remember
After
Luis,
Rezzyr, yeah.
Felix saying that it was like before any of this happened. I want to say
Yeah,
this.
before I said before we started talking about Rezzyr, we were talking about this, so could we get back to that? Not
Oh, I see.
go back in times. Get back to a previous subject.
I understand. So Rezzyr is outside. Gotcha.
Yeah,
He is.
he's spouting outside.
Rightfully so, I feel. Everybody needs a cool, edgy moment by themselves outside while the rest of the party stays inside.
No, he has a few.
He's the edgiest one too, so he definitely needs it.
For some reason, there we
I
go.
want to know if Xander's going to go through an emo phase.
Space bomb.
Yeah.
Flips his hair. I cast haste.
I'll never be what you want to be, Mom. Where are you?
I don't want to see the future anymore, Mom. He takes a few levels in bars and just.
Man, we are just getting into it tonight.
Yeah, there's like 4 different backstories, kind of.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny how it kind of works though? Because then you'll also have like 3 sessions where like no one's backstory comes out.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's
So,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Duality of D&D.
The instant that the basin was activated, B2, and you felt yourself lock up, the pain shot up your shoulder and into your head. You felt your head cocked to the side, and then there was nothing. You were in a gray scape of nothingness, of swirling fog all around you. A small boy walks out of the fog in your direction, long blonde hair, bright blue eyes, kind of staring up at you, reaches out his hand for yours, and you instinctively reach out and take his. And as you do, your eyes kind of roll into the back of your head, and you're running in a field with a bunch of other children around you. You are the little blonde boy running in a field full of apple trees with friends and family all around you. The feeling of safety and comfort, just embodying everything that is good in this world, you get to enjoy to its fullest. A few years later, you're taught to fight with a wooden sword. You remember your father teaching you hand-to-hand combat, preparing for what? The world is at peace, but it's just for fun. Little boys need to go off on adventures here and there. You and your friends headed off to a cave. There were lots of interesting things to find there. Lots of howling caverns and rushing rivers and lots of just beautiful landscapes throughout the land. And you remember all of this. But there was no danger. Nothing to test you. And as you got older and older, more and more prosperity was brought to you in your life, and you were treated as one who was special, one who was being prepared for something. And all of that sparring with your father and with your other friends was all brought to a head when the world clashed in a mighty war. Your next memory is of standing at the top of a pile of bodies. Lightning flashing in the distance. The rain beating down. Oh, that's very loud for some reason. You look down at your blood-soaked hands, and you'd feel your long blonde hair, also covered in blood. You look over and see the same commander the last time that you were here, the last time that you saw this, but you recognize the face. A younger version of a wizard. Looks an awful lot like Matthias Terramore. Instead of falling down the pile of bodies, this time you walk down and have a brief conversation with your commander, who's holding up this flag. The words are muddled, and the sound of the thunder kind of rolls around you as the rain is pouring down, and you're given a new mission. As he takes the flag and kind of points it off in a direction, you and your team, those boys and girls who you grew up with, who were trained as champions, head off the climax of this war. You're on the floor in Salagastra's cabin, being held by your compatriots.
I'm like quickly screwing on the pinky again. the pinky plate.
It happened again.
What happened again?
I was back on the battlefield. I saw my commander's face. It was the man Rezzyr killed. We were at war. I was a boy who was trained for something. And I was hunting, I was following orders. Matthias was my commander.
Oh, now Rezzyr's getting daggers.
He's outside.
Rezzyr's outside.
Oh man, dude. Whew.
And so is Black Star.
Yeah, I
Yup.
know Black Star's outside.
I was alive. I do not think I am fully B2.
Well, that's a start. Yeah, that's as good a place as any for us to start. Are you okay?
I don't know when, but can we get into Redwall to get to get to their knowledge? I know the only thing I know of this world is that place, the monks have knowledge. Would they know of this war?
Maybe. I don't think any of us have any way of confirming, but we know somebody who might.
Very well. My mission still is to defeat the Chainless, and I will continue to pursue that mission first. But if we find information, please help me understand it. And he's looking to everyone in the room, not just Sander.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can make sure you get there. I can't help with helping you understand anything, though.
I mean, we might be able to get into Redwall. We have a friend who should be there by now, I feel.
You said you remember a war. Were there any other details?
There were just thousands of bodies, and before that war there was peace, and there was other children like myself, and we were training.
Sounds like a war that took place not too long ago. A little over 100 years ago.
Yeah, I was thinking, could it be the war that was triggered by the anchor?
not everybody really knows about that war. Louise, how did you come to know of it?
I mean, me and my brother come from a pretty influential family, and we have
Oh, an influential
quite
family.
quite a big accumulation of knowledge through that family. And I do have to say, in the document you sent us at the beginning of the campaign, it said no history. I
Known
went back
history.
to check it.
It is known. It's known history, but that doesn't mean that.
Who's it known by?
I was gonna say
By nerds. That's by who.
people who are
The Red King did tell us about that.
well.
I believe
It's more so
And
just learned
did
individuals
mention it?
would probably know about it. It's common knowledge for those that
not very little.
want to know about history and stuff, right? Anyways,
Oh, something. Sorry to interrupt you, BT, but we have we have a map of an ancient city we found back in Beacon. Where is it? I have it written down. The name.
Yeah. I mean, which one?
Where is it? Where is it? It should be notes. Rosa and Cat. I was Chainless.
I mean the old world map is on Foundry.
Yeah, the old world
Yeah.
map is here.
Oh yeah, it should be there.
Are you looking for where
This city we had, because we found a map, and I remember I wrote it down, but I just don't remember where. Cause I hate D&D. Yeah, D&D Beyond's note section.
Yep.
Yeah. No map of South Pole. Damn. No, I just have a map of ancient cities. No, that's the different one. That's the one we found in River. It's not the same one. I don't have it written down. Damn.
Do you have the date?
The date? It's like in the sewers. Benny Beacon. I think it was in the room with the giant, what was it, bees?
Weird big bees.
Mahara?
Is that it?
Yeah, I have written here, found sketches of the city of Mohara.
Yeah. That's gotta be it, yeah, because the other one were straight up maps. Oh, yeah, sketch of Mohara, I found it. Just below the good berries.
Typical.
Yeah. Surprised all your notes aren't just good berries.
I mean, in my notes section, there's the other section at the bottom. The first 3 lines are good berries level 1, good berries level 2, good berries level 3.
Had you hadn't brought this map out to show to the 2 new guys?
No.
Right.
No.
We've had no reason to.
That we also have the map. Well, this map, that the old world map, which we have, and we have a map of the ruins of Zatera. Is it?
No, Mohara.
No, the ruins near
the
next
ruins.
room. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Zatera. Yeah.
Yep.
So we have 3 maps that her and JJ might be able to help us with, and of course, the old world map signed Victoria Gray.
Mm-hmm. You were also told by the person who sold it to you that it may not be 100% accurate. But did you
check with people that might know?
Did you bring it out to show it to everybody?
I mean, I would now get. Well, I know I have at least the old world map, the map of the ruins of Zatera. I don't know about the other one, though, the first one we found. I don't know who has that one.
Right. Okay.
Or do we just shove that in the hole with everything else?
um. I mean, you're talking about the other map that you had.
Yeah. The first one we found, because they were talking about ancient cities before.
Right.
And since I don't think, yeah, it's not on this map, on the old world map.
It's not on the old world map. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that particular town. I'm sorry. I'm actually juggling like 3 separate things right now.
Yeah, there's 3 maps.
And I'm trying to I'm trying to find one particular piece of information in particular. There it is. I'm sorry that it takes me a long time to find things because my
I mean,
notes
I
aren't
did
super
go
organized.
way back with that map. So.
No.
What was that, like maybe our 5th session together we found that?
I have that dated.
Real early.
That particular thing is dated December 2nd, 2022.
Ooh.
This the old map?
This sketch of Mohara.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, right.
Wow.
The old map came a little after.
Yeah, that one was in River.
Yeah.
Just before we left River, I believe, we went to a bookstore looking for maybe scrolls, stuff like that, but we found those maps instead.
Yeah, that is
That was the first time Black Star joined.
14th. The 14th of July.
Yeah. I mean, Black Star joined us in Beacon after the Chainless Lab, right? I know when we got back from the
when you got to
Requiem.
River, yeah.
Because we went back to Chainless Lab after Beacon was attacked, and you came with us then, yeah. Because we need somebody with a pretty voice to distract people.
Wait.
I missed the Duke.
Tin White
Yeah.
Duke. I mean, if we go back to if we
be
go to
visiting him.
Redwall, yeah.
Hey,
You'll have to do a conversation between Duke and
Yeah.
Blackstar.
I know how
Oh,
that
man.
comes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take up any more time. I can't find what I'm looking for. But the piece of information that I do have, as it's brought out and everyone's kind of looking at it, I don't know. Garen probably doesn't have any particular reaction to it. The rest of everybody has seen it before, except for B2. B2, when you see it and you see the name Veritas across the top of the map, which is labeled as basically the name of the known world at that time, there's something that sparks in your mind, and it's like a phrase that's repeated over and over and over and over in your head, and you can't help but say it out loud. Veritas isn't the name of the world. It's what the visitors called themselves.
Spelljammers.
Clearly, visitors like Grignak and Kazarak and Rezzyr's I'm blanking. Rezzyr's patron.
Veriloth?
Very lot, yeah.
Jason, that face you're making right now is something else. I'm just...
He's right. It's all just leading to Spelljammers campaign.
Spelljammers.
So you said the
We're gonna
visitors call themselves.
We're gonna go find ourselves some
Veritas.
giant space hamsters.
Veritas
and
isn't the
ride
name of
them.
the world. It's what the visitors called themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, thanks.
I
I wasn't sure if you were giggling because you thought it was stupid or because you
No,
were like,
no, I
oh,
was
that's
just
really
like,
cool.
oh. Yeah, that's really cool. Like, I'm giggling because that's exciting, and I'm
Wait.
also a little tipsy.
What if
so-
we
Oh, okay.
all live on the back of a giant turtle who's one of the visitors and he's called Veritas?
Ah,
The world is flat and it's on the back of a turtle.
And you said,
I like
Well,
you said it
it's
was
not
like,
flat. It's curved, just matching the shell of the turtle.
Yeah.
So that explains the horizon thing, but you still can find it.
Wait.
and
You know
follow.
how turtle have like hexagons on their shells? On their
Mhm.
shells.
That's the continents.
Yeah, each continent is on
That's the
one.
continents. That's why
And-
we're using a hex map for the world map this game. Oh my gosh, it's all coming together.
we figured you out, Tim.
And
You've
We
been
were
discovered.
locked onto your plan
this
here.
whole time, we've just been playing Catan.
Oh my gosh.
And little, you don't know this yet, but Veriloth is secretly an alien. He's a member of the Veritas. So, obviously, that's...
That was
Obviously.
What about what's this Vudos? Is that it? The gray.
Vudos.
The Necron. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's Vudo.
But you said it was a phrase that it was repeated often back then?
No, it's a phrase that's in your head now that you've seen the word Veritas. You're not making a
Clicks
connection
and-
necessarily to something in the past, but it's something that is being repeated in your head, and
Gotcha.
you
just have
do
a-
say it out loud. Yeah.
brief moment of robotic insanity till you said it out loud.
What do you mean brief?
It's like somebody who has incredible OCD for grammar, like I do, who when they see something, it just like hurts their brain that something is misspelled or that there's improper punctuation. You look at the map and you're like, they've named the map or they've named the world Veritas. That's wrong, and you're like just like upset about it in your head, and you're just like saying it over and over again, and you're not sure why.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Fair enough. Well, I'm sorry that you had to read my backstory then if you have that OCD.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Oh, I'm sorry, Tim, for all the way.
No, it's not actually. It's not actually that bad. It's yeah. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I would like to cut to outside. Black Star exits. Rezzyr's already been out there for a few minutes at least.
And Blackstar looks around. Does he see Rezzyr immediately?
I didn't go far. I'm just like a few paces away from the door.
Okay. I stride up to you. Hey. How are you feeling? You know, we
Conflict.
could always kill the Yeti, but get the sword.
Well, not really. I think the whole purpose was getting the friend back, not necessarily the item. The item was secondary.
Oh, you know what we could do? We could get the item, get the friend back, go down to the Chainless lab, then come back and kill the Yeti after. Would that make you feel better?
Not really. I don't know why you're latching on to killing this Yeti fellow. Ain't got
I don't
nothing
know,
against
just-
him.
You seem really upset. I figured it might help you. Do you just want the gloves?
Well, yeah, but I ain't talked this much about my past ever.
Oh, it's like trauma. It's not just not it's like I thought it was because you just couldn't get the gloves right away. It's because you're traumatized about your past.
I've been spending decades barely talking to anybody, and now a room full of people know my past, and that's unsettling.
Well, I mean, I guess that's true. If it helps you any, I was barely paying attention.
It would help if I believed you.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, well, I just wanted to come out and see how you were doing. I don't want to get my soul sucked out of my head or anything like that because you're in a terrible mood, so.
Actually, I have a question. Last time we were around JJ, we didn't know each other's situations quite as much. Can you talk to your friend Grignac while he's around? Because yeah,
You can't talk to your guy when you're around JJ.
nah,
Oh,
things go real quiet in that department.
I
Around that fella.
don't. Can you talk to him right now? Like, are you far enough away, or is this still a no-no zone?
Nah, not quite. That's why I didn't go too far. Want to settle myself before
Huh.
anything
didn't-
else happens.
Sometimes Grignac's quiet for a while, so I don't really know. I guess I could try and go back inside.
Yeah,
JJ?
just curious if it's a
Just a you thing?
yeah, if it has to do with who I'm working with, or if it's just the way these kind of arrangements happen around this fella.
Oh, that's good. Because I mean, we do have similar situations, but like very different bosses.
Yeah.
Good to know. Did you talk to your guy about JJ?
Yeah, but it was no, didn't learn nothing. Just kind of made him uncomfortable, and it was weird that we couldn't talk while he was around.
I feel like your guy's just weird in general.
You ain't wrong.
He's like a more emo version of you, which I didn't think was possible, but like, just like his vibe, his general like aura, it's just off-putting. I've never met him. I'm
Yeah.
speculating, but
Oh yeah, you were busy on the boat that day.
yeah, I think I was asleep.
Yeah.
But
Or
I mean, I've heard you guys talk about him, and you said stuff
hiding
about him.
in somebody's bed, something. Yeah.
I didn't. It wasn't. Was it that night? I wasn't trying to be weird. I just wanted to play cards.
All right. Well, anyways, check out if I don't know, get a chance, see if how that works.
That's fair. Are you okay sharing? You shared a lot. Like, do you feel
I
all
did.
right about it?
No.
Is it like a personal thing? Like now that we know more about you, you're uncomfortable around us?
Yeah.
Okay. So I probably shouldn't bring it up every chance I get.
Nope. And I will not be answering questions.
I wasn't gonna ask you any because I didn't think you'd answer them, but you know, it is now fun to know some things to say in order to push your buttons because you've got really hard buttons to push and it's very aggravating sometimes.
Yeah, and yours are easy to push, so you know.
Yes, I'm like an open book with most of its pages missing, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, you know, I'm always around if you need to chat about bosses and hard lives and you know, I'm not like the other two where well, not the two new ones, but the two old ones who seem to have been born with a silver spoon in their mouths and then also surrounded by other spoons made of silver inside of a golden house with books and things. So,
Yeah. Yeah, they come from different backgrounds, that's for sure.
yeah, they do. They're like our little Boy Scouts. And then the two new guys are like they're just as edgy as you. It's intense. I love it.
They're definitely people of the world. They've been around. Didn't grow
Yeah.
up in cushy golden house, like you said.
But the big guy,
Well,
he's
at
really
least the green one. I don't know, or no, you're brown.
yeah. I mean,
Who's
he's
the bigger fellow. The metal guy. I don't know what his thing is. Who knows where he's coming from?
that's a good point. I'm not entirely. Something happened in there. You missed it. I don't know the result, but like something crazy happened. So I came out. I lost interest. He like stopped talking for a while. So
All right.
I'm sure you'll hear about it though.
that.
I mean, what harm could have possibly happened in the few moments that you've been outside? Surely no information has been revealed that would devastate you or have any negative connotation whatsoever. So it's been like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So
A black star is like
it'd have to be
Deadpool.
something pretty big.
it would have to be really big, honestly. Like I don't know, maybe you like killed someone's mentor or something. That'd be insane. But I mean, it's not that
mean-
small of a world, right?
To be fair, that wouldn't be the first time. I was a bounty hunter for a good number of years, and not everybody I
Yeah.
took in were loners. So that
Thanks
wouldn't
for-
be the first time.
Thanks for not turning me in, by the way.
I mean, it's still on the table, technically.
That's fair. Yeah. The that, I don't really trust you, but I do like you more than everyone else for the most part. So.
Nah, don't forget I was kicked out of the guild. I can't turn in bounties even if I wanted to.
Oh, that's right. You're disgraced. You're back on my good lists. All right, so
These
we're
are
gonna go
bad
get this
lists.
Yeti. You want these gloves, right? Should we do it before the lab?
I mean, if it's nearby, we'll talk it
Only
over
an
with
hour
the group,
north,
I
she
guess.
said.
Yeah, if he's there. Said he
Oh, that's a good
wanders.
point.
But yeah, we'll talk it over with the group, I guess.
All right, that's
Figure out
fair.
what
I'm
we're
gonna go.
do. Who knows how long we're gonna be here? The boy might want to talk that lady's ear off.
Yeah, I know. I was really upset when he said that. I just feel like I'd like to get moved. Like the chainless keep getting stronger, and then I've got a pressing issue with Grignac that I've got to resolve, and it just takes like he's always talking about reading and learning, and let's stay here and talk to people. Like, Lord, it's
Yeah, maybe it's because that's the way he used to be at home, and he's maybe missing home, and that kind of reminds him of it. So he's trying to find home wherever he's at or something. I
oh,
don't know,
that's
that sounds
depressing.
too deep for me.
Yeah, deep. That's what I meant to. Depressing.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well,
All right,
who
well-
knows? We got like one thing pulling us in each direction, north or south. So see what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there and like ruffle feathers and get us moving.
Yeah, I think I'll be in a minute.
All right,
Thanks.
you take your time, think about things, talk to your guy, hug yourself because I'm not going to do it, but I believe in you. There you
Thanks.
go. That's the spirit. Blackstar walks back towards the building. What are you nerds doing? Walks inside.
We just had a revelation.
A revelation?
Well, B2
B2
had a
did.
revelation.
Oh, so it did work.
Yeah.
Not
I
in the
guess.
way we intended.
But something happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it more of the same stuff as before, B2?
Yes, but more detailed.
A lot
lear-
clearer.
I learned that Matthias was my commander.
Matthias? Who's that?
Pluto.
Pluto.
Yes, the man Rezzyr killed.
I just imagine B2 malfunctioning. That's why that's happening.
Wait,
After Effects.
wait. Oh boy, that's ironic.
That's ironic.
Yes,
Fancy you should say that.
yes. When you stepped out, you really missed important details.
Oh, that happens every time I leave. So Matthias Termore was your commander?
Yes.
Like he made you and commanded you to do things?
Well, he commanded me to do things, but he didn't make me. I don't think he was my father. No, he wasn't my father. I saw my father. I was human.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh. Well,
Yes.
light me on fire and I'll give you a hug. That's insane.
I don't think I can light you on fire.
No, you can. It just wouldn't have the same effect that you'd probably want it to.
About this point, I would walk back in.
Okay.
Oh, Rezzyr, have I got news for you?
Yeah.
What?
B2's now just kind of like.
Did someone's mentor die?
Funny you should say that.
Oh man.
Cut to next week's episode.
We can call it right there if you
Cold
want.
opener to B2 just pounding into Rezzyr on the floor.
You killed the one who knew things.
Uh-huh.
So
If that happens, I'm gonna need that part of the VOD because I'm not gonna be here next week.
All right, you're not going to be here next
Yeah.
week. Oh,
We'll
I won't be
stream
here
it
the
for
week
you.
after that.
Oh no.
Afterwards, I should be free most of the time. Just happened to be last week and this
Yeah.
next week. Yeah.
Louise. Louise
How are
will be
you-
a freaking mute person again next week.
How are you feeling, Pete?
Louis is just gonna go outside and try and find animals to talk to you.
Dude. Oh man.
You should add the little mustache, the little twirling with a baguette and a
Yeah, baguette.
wine glass.
And the caption, a little bubble of him going, ha ha ha.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
Oh, oui, baguette.
Baguette.
Croissant.
Oh my goodness.
It's great.
I think Alex was trying to continue the dialogue. I'm
Nah.
not
Yes,
sure.
yes.
Oui, baguette wins.
I think we should call it there.